Hello and salutations. We are live with another outstanding episode of the Square Table Degenerates. We're very proper over here. Since we're proper, we got a proper Britishman to join us. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Captain?
I'm doing grand, thanks. You?
I'm doing okay, man. It's been I'm not gonna lie, the past couple weeks in terms of like getting guests. I've complained about this to a couple of people. And it's just the nature of things, how things go. But you're like, I'll email people and be like, oh yeah, I'll do the show, sure. And then you get the email back, and then I'll email back like, oh, when can you do it? And then for some reason at that pinch point, it either just gets ghosted, they forget about it. It takes like weeks, sometimes months on end. It's fucking it's nauseating. But you know, like I said many times, this kind of thing is a privilege, and if you want to win, you gotta play the game, man. You can't fucking
Is the strike affecting you?
It is in terms of like getting entertainment people. Because like Patricia Darbo, she was on Seinfeld a couple times, did a couple of shows. She said she can't really do anything till the strike's over. There was another one that was like that too. Couldn't do anything till the strike's over as well. So on the fringes is a little bit. And it's affected me a little bit more directly too, just because like a lot of these guys who would normally just be doing acting are now doing mic shows just like mine. Because I mean, let's be real. If you're famous, like who's turning the mic, you're going to get viewers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because funny enough, I was sitting downstairs earlier, and if you look at Bob Kreischer and Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, they have 3 podcasts between them. That's wrong.
John Mojo, what's up?
Mojo, hello.
Yeah, it's saturation a lot of the times, man. I mean, and it's a lot of comics do it. Even some of my good friends, they do it. It's like, you know, you can't be having 3. I mean, I guess you can, but I mean, I don't know. I don't like to saturate it.
No, see, they're big enough, I suppose. People just blindly tune in no matter what they're doing. But you know, the 2 birds, 1 cave. Then you've got Bertcast, and then you've got what's the other one? Your Mom's House. You know, that Tom does, and they're all funny people. But fucking 3 podcasts. It's like. I'm a big fan of Foxy Man Names. The fucking biggest podcast, Joe Rogan. I'm a big fan of him. But see, when these other comedians on, I'm like, yeah, that's you and your mates sitting around a table. I don't want to know. Bring on, Graham Hancock, or bring on guests and talk about shit. Too often it's just him and it's the same people, and they're all funny guys. But yeah, for fuck's sake, I mean, you're on their podcast, they're on yours. It's just, Brian Collins, is an interesting guy. And he started to be more political, like a lot of people. I think a lot of people have decided they have to be, because let's face it, if one side isn't speaking up, the other side's dominating everything and winning. So more and more people are being political, but they're on everywhere. Because let's face it, I mean, you're me proof. You can just put a webcam on a PC and set this shit up without. And even the talk show hosts, if the strike's proving anything, it's showing you how little that they actually fucking do. That they've got a team of writers writing their jokes and they're still not funny.
Well, I mean, half of it is they got to. I mean, I get they want to be politically correct for the advertisers because woke America, etc. But like. Just the whole, it's total saturation, man. I mean, I'm a funny guy. I would say I'm probably one of the funnier people I know. Am I saying I'm the funniest person in the room? No, I'll never do that because comedy's subjective and different people find different things funny. But like after a certain point, if I was up here for 5 hours, there's only so much more I could say. There's only so many times you can hear me. I'll give you're my biggest fucking fan in the world. After a certain point, you've heard every story somebody's had to say. Like, there's nothing new after a while. So it's like,
and absolutely, you also want people not just saying the same thing. And I think that's when we didn't have them quite. How Blake? And you're still a prick, by the way, Blake. We didn't really have the late night shows the way you did. You grew up with Johnny Carson and then Letterman. All. Do you think Letterman was politically correct? No, he fucking wasn't. You know what I mean? And that's what made him funny. And you look at them now, and they're all saying the same jokes. Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel's a funny guy. You know what I mean? But and what's your on Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon's really funny. I like Jimmy Fallon, but they're all singing off the same hymn sheet, and it just becomes bland. You just flick it over, and it's the same joke, same, and I mean, I don't want to talk. Don't get me wrong, I'm trying to talk about politics, but as a late show host, if you can't make fun of Joe Biden, you're not doing your job.
Nope,
You know
correct.
what I mean?
Exactly. Well, it's so polarizing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you, the instant you say a Joe Biden joke, fuckers like, oh, you're a goddamn racist, right-wing Trumper. You should go to your Klan rally there. It's like, relax, bro. Not everything's an extreme all the time.
But what's good for the goose? The president is supposed to be a target for comedy. They made fun of Trump, rightly so, because he did a lot of things that were easy to make fun of. But if you can't make fun of somebody that can't say basic words, that falls upstairs, that supposedly shit himself in the Vatican, I don't know whether it's true or not. It's still there to be made fun of. You know what I mean? And he gets and they all just have the same jokes. It's just like, well, you shut the fuck up. You're all piss poor now.
Well, it's analytics too has gotten they gotten too good at analytics. I mean, they're like, oh, this will perform well with this. Let's produce it. You see it in Hollywood with the cookie cutter movies. We just saw another Ninja Turtles movie. Was it a good movie? It was okay, I guess. Yeah. Did it need to be made? Probably not. It was just
that's why entertainment, as you and I grew up, watching, is dying. The cinema is dying because people are sick. We're sick of just Marvel movies being pumped out, and superhero movies, and then we're sick of being, instead of just making a Captain America where he jumps in, decked out in red, white, and blue, saves the world. That's what people grew up. No, we'll have to throw in character A, B, and C because we'll have to tick boxes and just make a fucking bit of it. And then make a risk, take a risk, make something that isn't a fucking Marvel movie,
Oh my God, right? Beautiful cinema was about taking risks. You look back, you guys like Stanley Kubrick. He didn't give a fuck what anybody thought. He would just go ahead, get his contract, and just make his movie. Put lines in there. It would not last 2 seconds in the 2023. But God damn it, it was fucking good. You were on the edge of your seat. You watched every second of it. You loved it. That era's dead. It's gone, bro. It's gone.
Would George A. Romero be allowed to make movies these days? No. Tarantino's one of the only maverick, and I'm not a Tarantino fan. The last thing he did that I really enjoyed was Reservoir Dogs. But I love the fact that he does at least, make something different. But where's your Fight Club coming out? Where is your Reservoir Dogs? Where is your Goodfellas? Where is your fucking, you know what I mean? That's not. What was the last film you saw in the cinema that you thought this is genuinely original, came out of left field, and John Wick, maybe John Wick.
I'm trying to think. The last good comedy that really came out in the cinema that I remember that I really fucked with was The Other Guys, and that was 2010. I'm trying to think post that what movies even I remember. I mean, because some of them were okay, but it was all stereotypical Marvel shit, Endgame and all that. Some of it was good, but it was like, is it really that different than the other 18 freaking movies that came out with Marvel this year?
No. And then what makes it worse is every time a film bombs, it's always the viewer's fault for not being smart enough or not being, you didn't embrace the mess like that, Bros, the romantic comedy with the two gay guys, the film was just terrible.
The trailer for that was fucking obscene. You're trying to market that movie for those who have no idea what we're talking about, which is probably 80% of the people because they didn't really do a good marketing job in this movie. Yeah. And we'll get into why marketing is an issue all of itself in a second. But there was this movie 2-3 years ago, right during the pandemic. It was released called Bros, BROS. And it was advertised as the first movie with like an all gay or transgender cast, whatever. And the movie, fine, whatever. If you got a good movie, fine. But the movie itself was just not good. It was just, I didn't watch the movie, so don't go out there, dropping rainbows in the chat. But the trailer itself had like guys and watching gay porn. There was a threesome. There's so many things in the trailer you would have to explain to anybody under, I don't know, 15, 14, whatever. To where the point, it's like, what are you thinking here, man?
I know, and you said urban marketing. You have, I mean, what these guys are, instead of just going right. Well, we know what sells. It's you know, romantic comedies are date movies. Let's face it, men don't really want to watch them. They go because they take their wife or their girlfriend or the girl they're trying to mac on or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. That's what. So if you're target, that's your target audience. So the fellas don't want to see it, but they want the girl to come out feeling all warm and fuzzy and moist. Hopefully, and ready to go because she saw Brad Pitt half naked, hitting on whoever, and that doesn't work. Two fellas and I mean, I'm not going to go out. What the fuck would people do? But they then double down and going, well, it didn't succeed because of homophobia. It didn't succeed because of all this. And I'm not. But instead of just making a fucking film that people want to see, there's a reason people have been making rom-coms for 50 years. Pretty Woman, for fuck's sake. What was the Whitney Houston one?
Oh, The Bodyguard.
Bodyguard, all that sort of shit. Titanic isn't a disaster movie. It's not a rom-com. That's the wrong phrase, but you know what I mean. It's a date movie,
Right.
a love story, and I can't believe I said the Titanic was a comedy. Although the bit at the end, when she would let him on the door, yeah, fuck you. But
My favorite part was when the elevator was flooding, and the guy's like, "No, we're going up. Fuck you." The guy just took off. That was great. You're on your own, man. Fuck you, bitch.
I've never watched it. It's just one of those things, but it's part of the culture, and I've just seen and heard people talk about it so much, and especially the bit in the door when she's on the door and there's room in the door and she doesn't let him on. And, yeah, fuck off, But it's just, what? It worries me. I mean, there are ones that come out. Three billboards outside Ebbings, Missouri was a fantastic film that came out of left field and it won Oscars. And I didn't think, normally when something wins Oscars, I think, I'm not watching this. It'll be crap. It'll be pretentious. It'll be boring. It's a really good. I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago. It's brilliant. Peter Dinklage and all, and Dinklage. Sorry, is it Dinklage or Dinklage?
Yeah, Dinklage. Yeah.
Dinklage. Yeah, Peter Dinklage and Sam Rockwell, who's one of the best actors in the business, I think. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a Woody Harrelson as the cop and all. It's a great movie, but it took a risk because it talks about cop violence and racism and murder and rape and all. And it was brilliant. But where's that? Where's the next one of those?
Well, the thing too is people feel the need to virtue signal with every single movie. Like sometimes we just want to have fun. Like I will say a movie that did come out. It wasn't the best movie ever made, no, but like the Super Mario Brothers movie, I thought did a really good job of just entertaining. It was just about the Mario Brothers, just about the fun. They didn't, have a secret black midget Mario brother who had a transgender sister. It was just the original cast, and they just did the fucking movie. That was brilliant. Obviously, it was a recycled story 10,000 times over, but at least that was a start in the right fucking direction. And the problem is everybody wants to have either a virtue signal or like a total happy ending. I want movies with twisted endings, but I don't want the story to suck. Like these horror movies, there's no effort. It's just special effects. The guy gets his leg cut off, whatever. Yeah. I want to see plots. I want to see diabolical killers.
I watched that last time. Tom Hanks is one of the best in my lifetime, arguably the best actor in the business, right? And he did that film. I'd forgot about it, but it appeared on the TV a couple of weeks ago. That A Man Called Otto, right? And I remember seeing the trailers. He's about a grumpy old man that hates people and all. So naturally enough, I thought that looks really good. So I sat and I watched it. I missed the first couple of minutes, but it was brilliant. He was grumpy. He doesn't like people, wants everything done right, And I thought this is a perfectly good movie about a grumpy man that hates the world, that's thinking about topping himself. Brilliant, And then, right, slap bang in the middle of it, out of nowhere, they introduce the trans issue. And it just didn't sit with the story. It just was so obviously put in to go, we've ticked the box, we've virtue signaled. And it just, the story's going along. I don't know if you've seen it, but his neighbors move in, they're Hispanic, and he's an old fella that's a widower and stuff like that, and the new family's all super friendly, and but the dad's useless at DIY, and and it's a nice story, and it's they're sort of winning him over, sort of one disaster at a time, and just out of nowhere, boom, yeah, I wasn't accepted because I was trans, fuck off, you know.
Dude, there was, oh my goodness, God, I was gonna make a point about something like that, and I forgot. It was a movie talk about the movies, and then the virtue signaling.
That's
Yeah. Oh, you know, oh, I know. I was going to ask you about. Have you ever seen the movie American History X? I know you have.
Yes.
Ed Norton, 1980. Brilliant
Yes.
fucking movie. Brilliant movie. Now, remember at the end of the movie when Ed Norton's looking back in the mirror and they're playing the montage of the waves and all that.
Yeah.
The original script called for him to do all that, but then look down in the darkness and he just finished shaving his head. Like he was going to go back and kill that guy who killed his brother. That would have been the perfect fucking ending. Oh my God, that would have been great.
I love Edward Norton. I think he's a great actor, right?
He is. He's phenomenal. I love Ed Norton.
I actually think, and I thought the story was brilliant. I know they have to do it because they have a 90-minute window to tell a story. But his conversion being an absolute out-and-out skinhead and all the rest of it, and his 5-minute conversion because he's in the jail and he's talking to a black dude in the laundry was too neat and tidy. It was too contrived. It was, and we're all entitled to have that come to Jesus moment where we change our opinion and stuff, but it didn't feel right. Great cast, great actors, good story, but he fucked up the ending. I think he got the director sacked or something like that. And it was a pity because the film's it's still a really good film. It's still really,
it's one of my top 10 all go-tos. It's just such a great cinema.
Now, Edward Norton's only a wee small guy, but when he's running about with a swastika and the shaved head and all, he's a scary looking fuck. But
he put on like 35 pounds of muscle for that. If you look at Fight Club in that movie, I think that movie was like either right after Fight Club. Like he was just jacked.
He's just such a good actor. And again, you have to respect the fact he had the balls to do it. Because have you ever watched Romper Stomper?
I've heard about it. I still haven't seen it yet.
Right. Well, obviously that was one of Russell Crowe's first films, and it's brutal. Obviously it's straight in skinheads. He got death threats and all, and that was a big risk him doing that because idiots can't separate an actor he's playing a part, and he got dog's abuse for that. It's a brutal film. A lot of the Australian films are really good because they used to be before Australia went all super woke. They were always really gritty and dark, and it was about the skinhead gang, big running battle with I can't remember, it was Vietnamese, but and it was great. He was brilliant in it, but he played a character called Hondo, and he looked, because he's a big guy anyway, but it was fucking scary. But he nearly he nearly didn't recover from that film because people couldn't separate him from the part, which is stupid.
Oh, it's wild, dude. I reached out to, because that movie, American History X and Higher Learning, two of my favorite all-time movies. I just like movies with that dark tone of like what happens if you're, as a white person in America, especially a white man, if you reach that bottom, like how does it feel? And that movie touches on it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like I've reached out to some of them actors, and I'll tell you what, I think that movies like that really fuck up people. They do, bro. Like some of these guys I talk to, just messaging and shit. They're nice guys, but you can just tell they're just spaced out. Like they don't, they weren't the same after that movie. Remember that big guy in American History X who's spitting the M&Ms? I can't.
Oh yeah, he's lost loads of weight. So he's been in loads of films in Wolf of Wall Street now.
Welcome to the party, Mr. Carrier. How you doing,
buddy? What up, homie?
We're just chilling, bro, on whatever day it is. What, Friday, I guess?
He's lost loads of weight, but he's a good actor. But he was brilliant again. He was in Romper Stomper in American History X. He was brilliant as that character, But yeah, but I don't know. I tend to be rewatching old films more than watching anything new. I don't like superhero stuff, so it's not my bag, and that's fine. They are what they are, but when it doesn't help that they're churning one out every 15 minutes.
Right.
Definitely going to go down when Every time you look, even when you sit on YouTube looking at the trailers for films coming, it's Marvel, it's Marvel, it's Marvel. Just fuck
Well,
off.
they run into a problem too. It's like, I mean, people like me, dude, I pay a lot of money every month to not see adverts. I don't like watching, J.G. Wentworth and, all these earn money fast schemes or whatever the fuck they're selling. I don't want to look at it. I just want to watch the thing and click on. So I pay good money every month to not see commercials. So like me, even knowing a movie comes out, you got to put up a billboard. You got to send me an email because I just won't know. You know what I mean? And that's another issue because they want their cake and eat it too. They want us to be able to pay to opt out of the advertisements, but they want the money from the advertising. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm watching on this, I have an ad blocker, but sometimes I'll deliberately go into YouTube and search for upcoming movies for 2024 or whatever to see what's ahead of us. And just half the time, you mentioned horror movies. I mean, I'm some of my favorite films have coincidentally been horror movies, but I hate most horror movies because most of them are just crap. It's get a fucking 3D shark to jump on a screen and the idiots go, we're
like this scene right here, like this scene right here. That's just CGI. It's just a blow up.
Again, you talked about marketing earlier. One of the best bits of viral marketing ever in the history of cinema was the Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, 1999, because it was the internet just coming out. God, that was great, right?
And it went because it was one of those ones because they didn't tell anybody this is a movie. Just started releasing these clips, and people started. Fuck, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And and it was fantastic. It was so well done. It was everybody in the world had almost heard of that before it even reached the cinema. And a film that cost them 21,000 or something to make, and they made millions off it. So
that's crazy. I thought that movie was shit, dude.
You didn't like Blair Witch Project? No, I'm not gonna lie. That might be the last horror movie I really cared for. Like
I like the Saw movies. Like, even though
there you go. There's an effects film as opposed to something you have to think about, and that's the difference between. To me, Blair Witch was a book on a screen.
Oh yeah, the way they did those the fake interviews with that person. Oh god, that was brilliant. That was this great cinema. Right?
It was just like, okay, so it's like all that reality TV shit you got now and shaky cameras and shit. Like, to me, it was just like that. But like,
if you watch it in hindsight, it's not that. If you remember back in 1999, like if you're watching now and you're like 25 and you're watching, you're like whatever. But if you're our age and you grew up through, the 80s and the shitty special effects in 1999, that was a fucking groundbreaker.
I guess it was better than like Jason Goes to Space or some shit. Like,
but the point is, the first 60 minutes of the film were just building up the suspense, and it was all in your head, and it wasn't special effects. It had to sink in that certain shit was happening, and then when it did start to kick off, it was just, this is fucking, it was brilliant. But and it's one of those films people either tend to love or they loathe it. But with all due respect, anybody that loves the likes of Saw and stuff, that's just fucking.
I don't care for any of the Saws. I don't.
I like the Saw movies, man. Like, I like those. Exactly. I don't know.
But if you want to not think about anything you're doing, you watch shit like the Saw movies. If you want to think about what you're doing, you watch something.
That's true. Sometimes not everybody, and I can appreciate that not everybody wants the cerebral approach to cinema. Some people just want to be entertained, and that's it. That's fine. I, on the other hand, as an entertainer myself, I consider myself an entertainer at this point. I like real thought out shit. I like mind fucks. You know what I mean? I love movies.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
I don't like. Oh, yeah, here's a guy. They're going to increase the music. The person's going to get cut up. Wah, wah. We've seen that before. It's tried and true. I want to see some mind fucking.
What's the name of that movie with Brad Pitt and fucking Morgan Freeman?
7.
Was it 7? What was the one? What was the one where it
was? 7. Like, that was like, come on, man. It wasn't exactly a horror or thriller, but I mean, that was like, it messed with your head, right?
What was the island movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he was like on an island and they?
Oh yeah. I think it was called The Island or some shit.
wasn't Dr. Moreau's or something like that?
No, not the Island of Dr. Moreau. That wasn't the worst movie in the world.
That was Val Kilmer. That was retarded.
What's his name was in that too?
I think it was actually called The Island.
The Island. It was called The Island. But yeah, The Island of Dr. Moreau was Marlon Brando's last film, I think.
All right, okay. I'm not a DiCaprio fan, although I've started to appreciate him more because he started to pick proper parts in the last 10, 15 years. You know, Wolf of Wall Street and all the brilliant, and you know, although I did like
The Beach,
yeah. Hello, Mr. Canadian.
Hey, BC, I haven't seen you in a minute, buddy. What's up with you, homeboy? How you been, BC?
DC.
But,
because
no, I mean, I don't want to, you know, I mean, it's again with comedies and stuff. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but a slapstick. Some of the stuff that I grew up watching that won't have made it over there was like the Young Ones and Bottom and stuff like that. I know Squirrel's done and EB's done reactions to the Bottom and all, and they're pretending to hit each other with cricket bats and all. But you know that's good. But you know, we've moved past low. I don't know what you call them, but the Three Stooges, you know, sticking their fingers in each other's eyes and stuff like that. You know, give us something to fucking that hasn't been. I mean, I don't mean reinvent the wheel, but just you know, you can't watch somebody fall or slip on a banana skin in every movie and go ha ha ha, and that's what a lot of this shit is.
Like,
I mean, how many
Chaplin shit, right?
how many Scream movies are there now? The first Scream movie I thought was fantastic. You know, again, I'm not a horror guy, but it was brilliant. I mean, I maybe shows my mentality, but whenever the guy said, "I'm going to gut you like a face" to Drew Barrymore, I laughed in the cinema. You know, I thought it was just such a good line, and it was a good one. And what brings me in a side now? Why is everybody on TV and movies now ugly? Why can't we have fucking hotties on TV anymore? The remake of Scream, I stumbled across it the other night, right? And the hottest person in it is still Courtney Cox. All the young actors and actresses are all fucking ugly. If I want to look at ugly people, I'll look in a fucking mirror.
She got more plastic than fucking Michael Jackson did.
Honest to God, I want to see hot people. I want to see pretty people. You know, and almost everything you watch now, you know, I what is it, body positivity or fucking, you know, ugly pride or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Well, I mean, what you gotta do, Captain, is hold up your phone and go to the Mexican Weather Channel and just watch the Mexican Weather Girls.
Oh no!
Instead of the movie that's on the screen.
Don't do that. If you're right-handed, you better have your right hand free.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what happened to and I get it, but it's weird because like they were like, oh yeah, we should make sex work more empowering. But yeah, like the amount of tits I see in movies is like zero at this point. I mean, back in the day, if an actress was coming up, you'd have a second of a topless scene in her shower, she'd scream, ah, her boobs would jiggle, she'd go off, she'd be famous, and we got to see what her tits look like. Now they act like whatever, but they go on OnlyFans and they do it for $5 a month to randos. I don't get it. I don't get this culture. It's just such a fucking ass backwards way of thinking. It's not going to get any better, dude. I got news for you. This strike is not going to end well for these Hollywood writers and types. Because look right now, the UAW is on strike. United Auto Workers just went on strike at midnight last night. It's a strike, and you got a very supposedly pro-union president right now. And if these guys are striking now, that's not going to end well because the next guy really doesn't like unions. So
it does amuse me when you have all these Hollywood superstars supporting them. Well, maybe if you weren't demanding $40 million a picture, you know, you could pay the stuntman and the cameraman and all properly. You know, it's because some of them aren't making, you know, especially because it's such a haphazard way to work. It's not like, right, I'm going to have work consistently, you know, 11 months of the year. You know what I mean? You're just literally, I get the next movie, I get the next TV show and all that there. So I understand that. But if all these cunts that are in front of the camera weren't gouging everybody for every penny, then maybe the crew could be paid properly. What are the stars on now? You know, 30, 40, $50 million a picture, and then probably some percentage of the back end. Well, all they could do is say, well, give me $2 million less and make sure the cameraman and the stuntman.
They get paid half that or less than half that because if you figure most of these pictures are made in California, so automatically you take 50% of that $40 million.
I understand how taxes work. I'm not an idiot, but up front they're getting 40, 30, 40, 50 million. They're getting percentage of the back end. There'll be mass amounts of because they'll be using every tax loophole because they have proper accountants because they can afford to pay them. The point still stands.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
They can afford to say, well, give me $2 million less or $5 million and make sure the crew's probably looked after from the catering people right up to the fucking cameraman and the stuntman.
Well, you see what happens when you have cheap people working.
It's not going to affect their standard of living. It just isn't. So if they really want to do that, they can do that, you know.
We had a question about, do you think you got to follow the states that are able to turn? I mean, if you're looking at, you'd have to look at the key states are Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. If Biden or if Trump can turn those states, he's got a shot. If he doesn't fuck with those states, there's no shot. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not. All the other states are. It's only really a 4 or 5 state race at this point. I mean, it's kind of sad in a way because like 80% of the country is cut out from making their vote count this year. And I would say it's even higher because we got to be real. Nobody really wants either of these guys. Are way too old. They just tolerate them because they believe in the things they believe in. I mean, it's a country of telling people what you want to hear and then you get their vote. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we always say it's a transformative election, this and that. We've been saying that the past 8 elections. But at the end of the day, the country's too big. The thing about government is that the bureaucracy always wins.
Yeah, you're never going to win.
People can get in there. I can come in there with the best intentions in the world and do this and that. When that shit gets bogged down in the courts, bogged down in the paperwork, bogged down, change is just impossible. That's why we're still in a Cold War economy. Like we've been doing the military-industrial complex since 1950s, and we're still doing it. Ike said we're the military-industrial complex. We didn't listen. Yeah. We doubled down, and we just invent conflict to keep it going.
I don't think he's going to run again. I think they're going to make him step down.
Who's that? Biden?
Joe Biden. Yeah.
Well, he's like the crypt keeper, man.
Well, the problem with that is there's nobody else in the wings. That's like the Republicans would have done that too, but they have literally nobody else who polls well. That's going to keep rolling guys.
Well, DeSantis, like he polls well, and they got DeSantis, they got Trump. Like
it doesn't matter. Biden get in because he wasn't Trump. The problem is Biden is fucked. Biden's head's gone.
Well, it's because most of the mainstream media, before he even got elected, they spent years just trashing him, and then indicting him after this. It's like, it's not fair, dude. Yes, they all suck, B-Wizzle. But, at least Trump did what he said he was going to do.
No, he didn't.
Look what's happening at the border. We got people, now we got the New York mayor out there saying, oh my God, it's a fucking national crisis with all these.
Trump made loads of promises.
Come down to Texas. I'll show you what a fucking national crisis is.
Trump made loads of promises that he did. He delivered on next to none.
He started building a wall, and they stopped him from doing it.
Hey, wait! Breaking news, guys! We have our British correspondent in response to the Trump still running.
Is he really?
That's the first time I've dropped that. John, if you're still here, hopefully you got to see that. This shit made me laugh. Is he really? I can do it again.
Is he really?
Is that John from Lord's Brain?
Yeah, he was on the stream. I was like, just the way he said it with his voice inflection. Is he really? It just gets so high, it just made me laugh.
Yeah, but politics is just a bad.
Well, it's hard to talk. It's hard to talk politics because everybody's so polar. I mean, it's like
nobody's ever going to agree on anything. You're just it's just
bad. The Republicans got 2 issues that they still get voters on: abortion and guns. And most of the people who are voting Republican, I'm assuming, are for guns. And if as a Democratic politician, if you're going to say, "Oh, we're going to take away your guns," of course not. These people aren't going to vote for you. It's just the way it is. You're wasting your time talking to the echo chamber. To get through on politics, you literally have to have hour-long conversations with people on a one-to-one level, multiple locations across the country. And at this point in time, I guarantee none of these people have that kind of energy. You go on Twitter and say something political and see how fast fucking that's.
You're fucked.
Or X. Sorry, go on X.
I'm an outsider in this, but I want to try and finish my point that I tried a minute ago. They're not going to let Biden run. If you notice now, even CNN are starting to call him out on all the many lies he makes time and time again on statement.
He says he was a truck driver.
What can I fucking finish what I'm saying?
Bullshit. He lies all the fucking time, man, and it doesn't matter because that's the only clips that people get is fucking TikTok and Instagram or whatever, and they just eat that shit up. They don't fact check. They don't do nothing, man. So whatever. It speaks more to our basic population.
What speaks to people like you? I've tried 3 times, make a point 3 times. You just keep talking the topic. That's what's wrong with politics. 3 times, and I even respectfully stopped twice and said, "Can I finish my point?" And I'm still talking, and you decided you to jump in with your point again. That's what's wrong with politics.
Sorry, man.
I would agree. And we have John has a question for us.
Is the chicken enchilada burrito, is that new?
I don't know. I don't know if it's new or not. But, yeah, well, and I'll tell you what, Captain, that's the thing that pisses me off. And this will be the last political thing we'll talk about.
Yep.
There's a reason we don't talk politics and we don't talk fucking kosher meals, etc. Because I just don't feel like fucking arguing about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But
it's not my country. You know what I mean? But the question was asked. And
yeah. You got it. But the thing that Trump did the most in the whole process, it just really irritates me, is that the man has no decorum. He just interrupts, says whatever. He's like a fucking toddler. We got to be real about that. We do. And it's fucking annoying because the man, that's what I love about the UK, man. There's still a little proper etiquette. You know what I mean? I'll email people. Dude, I emailed Liz Truss people, and the guy's like, oh, he responded. He said, oh, I can't do this. But they were cordial about it, etc. There's none of that in fucking the US emails. Looking back, like, oh, you're sure your guy's not big enough for my shit like that. So it's like, the fact that decorum just went in the toilet really irritates me. Maybe we can get back to civility at some point, I don't know.
I would have just stayed off Twitter, man. Like,
yeah, honestly, X is a big problem. X is a huge problem.
I love Twitter. But
you're a shit starter. Of course, you love Twitter.
Well, that's it. Yes, because I just love trolling. So. But I was thinking about you guys earlier, and this might because he is. I don't know if he's A-lister anymore, but because of your connections and what you do. I think, and I know it's reaching for the stars, but why not Gary Sinise? Because you work with veterans and stuff.
Let me check if I've emailed Sinise. I want to see here. Hold on.
And I was thinking about it today, and because I always said you random suggestions for guests, but I know he's up there, but because he's so heavily into the veterans stuff. And you working for the VA and you being, ex-military and all yourself. And if you play up a lot of my subscribers are ex-military.
I want to see. I think I did email this guy May 23rd, 2023. So this Alexander Alton name comes up a lot. She must represent a lot of people. But and I dropped it. I'm a vet in the thing. Maybe I do it again, and I just write like I'm a vet in the subject line. Maybe I'll have to figure it out.
I should, and I would even play the VA card. Well,
I can't really do that because I still work there. Yeah, I got in huge trouble once because I got in. There was this event they had at the Parma VA, and I got on Facebook promoting. I said a couple things, and the public affairs officer, she's like, "Yo, you can't be doing that shit." So. I can't officially do advertise like that. To be honest with you, dude, if I could do that in real life, bro, that'd be fucking such a connect because the VA, gotta be real, has a huge PR problem, and I could solve that shit quite quick. When I say quite quick, I mean I've seen these channels that run out there. There's a Combat Craig and there's several other ones, and I'm not gonna lie, they do a lot of shock value shit. They're not good. They're not good at all. They and I could, my goodness gracious, if they took a proactive, that's the problem with the VA is that everybody can accuse of everything and there's no defense. You can't you look it up, oh, this and that, and everything. They just got to take it. And I'm not saying engage and fucking make people look like idiots, but in a consistent manner address it. They do it somewhat, if somebody comments on a Facebook post or something, but. Yeah, I got out of that world because I didn't. That's an easy thing to get sucked into. You know what I mean? Especially when they're sitting there and they're like, "Oh, there's lazy government employees," and then you're like, "Oh, geez, here we go."
I know because you've got because there's one of the other guys, and I can't remember his name. He was in some of the Star Wars movies. And he's ex-Marine, I think. Big tall guy with the black hair. He played not Darth Vader, whatever the main bad guy was in the Force Awakens and all that. The one that you Donald Gleason and you the other character. What the fuck's his name? Because I've seen him doing stuff on YouTube where he's turned up at veterans' houses and stuff, helping them out and visiting, and even though he was paid to be there, but he was still ex-military. What the fuck did you call him?
You know what's still hard for me about the whole veteran stuff is that like a lot of the community, and I don't know if this is something I should really say, but like, apologies if this comes out the wrong way, but like they're so fixated on this prevent suicide thing that they forget the underlying mission. Like we could do a lot more besides, just saying this and that, 22 a day, don't kill yourself, etc. The weed, they really got to embrace that weed, man. I mean, it sounds cliche, but like, I mean, just telling people seek therapy, don't do this. There's only so much that people could take. A lot of people don't like clinical settings. They just want to do their thing. They want to either go out and shoot the guns, play the music, get high, whatever. And we got to be real about the veteran population. I mean, like on active duty and stuff, I think it's a drinking encouraged thing. I mean, it's just like college. It's like college, but in uniform. I mean, you go out there and you're enabled a little bit because you're military hero, etc. Hey, have some beer, man. I'll buy a beer, and that fucking shit makes you want to party, dude. And especially if you're in like Japan or something. So it's like, we have to, as a veteran community, I think there needs to be more focus on the not the. It's hard to get to speak what I'm trying to say. I think you're getting what I'm laying down, but it's so focused on the administrative. That number 22, they fixate on it. And it's just,
they've been trialing MDMA for veterans, and apparently it's working really well. It's just ecstasy, so it was always the love drug, so a lot of guys with severe PTSD, they're taking them, but they have to take them into clinical settings. I know you're saying a lot of guys don't like that, but they might if they think, if I go here 4 times, it could change my life, and guys are coming out and
they're all stuck going to the VA, which is a shit show. And, we got so many homeless veterans in America.
And that's a narrative, too. I don't think that's really like it is, man. I mean, I work at the VA, and I know about the pensions. And, like, if you are not – if basically one of two things. If you're not – there's if somebody is so mentally ill that they don't want to seek treatment, they'll never seek treatment. That's one. Or if they're on some kind of narcotic or whatever that they can't get off of, and the treatment just – they've been through the program and all. If you're out there and you're a veteran, at least post 9/11, some of the older guys are still trying to catch up with the benefits. But if you're still out there and you're a post 9/11 veteran, under 30, under 40, whatever, and you're experiencing homelessness, and you haven't went through the resources, reach out, go to homeless.va.gov, type in homeless veterans, it'll pop up. They'll get you a pension. There's a minimum standard to where they'll get you in a program in the house.
There's a lot of pride involved too. They won't ask.
Oh yeah. I mean, it sucks up. You got to do the private. I mean, it's like this. You want to be living under a bridge. You want to reach out. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff. That's why. And I don't want to get into too much of that stuff, but like, dude, like I off the books, telling people about hey, do this and that. I mean, when I used to go to the bars, if I saw a veteran, that's a fucking instant conversation about benefits because you got to figure out, what did you have here? Because a lot of people, and it's really hard too because sometimes they'll get told. It's the whole barracks thing, the game of telephone. They'll get told by their buddy who heard from their buddy, if you do this, you get that. And that can be good, that can be bad. If it's good, it's good. If it's, I got treatment, you should get treatment too. Maybe get some money here, that, or that. But if it's bad, it's amplified times 10 because you know how negative news goes.
Well, Joey, do you think then? So you're on the inside of it. So I take it you can only work for the VA if you were military, or can you?
No, you can work for the VA. Any job. I mean, it depends on the posting.
Right. But so you've seen both sides. But you were stationed abroad and all in your home. So, and this might be a stupid question, but would it be worth them siphoning off some of their budget to fucking get their PR right, to get the word out there to veterans, to get it out to the right places, so as veterans know this is what we can do to help you, and this is how we help you?
If they did it in the right non-bureaucratic fashion, that means like get fucking Bert Kreischer's a shit example, but get whoever the comedian of the day is, Matt Wright for somebody, for example, just go out there, do a 30-minute PR clip pay the guy 175 grand or whatever. That would do so much because everybody thinks of it as the Cold War. That song "Born in the USA" still resonates with people.
Some cities are just worse than others, man. Like
the movie, and that's another thing too. Mike brings up is veterans love going to warm weather spots. They do. They retire. They a lot of them get 100% service connected, $4,000 a month. Where are you going to move? Florida, Texas, etc. Yeah. And there's so many, and they like, and a lot of especially the Army guys, they like living on where there's a nearby post.
Overloaded.
So you go to Killeen, Texas, Puyallup, Washington. There's so many Army.
They ain't going to New York or fucking Vermont.
Right? They never come up. The VA care, like, there's no veterans in like Rochester, Minnesota, or Rochester, New York, or these VAs up here are brand new. It's amazing, but all the veterans want to go to the same spot, and it's just overwhelming.
Florida, man. Like that's it. Like,
but I'm just wondering because you've always been quite pro VA. You're always saying that the resources are there. But I understand some people that are so fucked up, PTSD and all that there. And it's not something I've ever suffered. So I'm not, I can't, and some people don't want, and there is a pride thing there as well. But is the VA not getting their message out that there is support? That's all I'm asking.
I think part of the problem, this is another very controversial take, but the way they dispense out disability compensation is kind of an issue in some aspects. Let me explain. Like, there's no secret. The internet's there now. You can get the answers to tests. You can get the answers to quizzes. We have these things called disability benefits questionnaires. Basically, it's what the doctor asks the veteran. Anybody with half a brain can just type in what condition they have, disability benefits questionnaire, see what questions answer, go in there, do that. I'm not saying this is widespread. I have no idea. But that is a potential issue, coaching, etc. Because if you're chasing money, not chasing treatment, what are you going to chase? The money's easier. You know what I mean? So that's combined with it, and it's just, a lot of it's a bureaucracy problem. I mean, for example, when I started in the call center, we were 579s. That's a general schedule, and they started hiring. They had coaches. There was one coach over team. Now they got a coach, assistant coach, a training coordinator. It's just the bureaucracy just is, and there's a cult. You can't tell people you're taking away jobs. You just can't. And when you get somebody who Because the system, I mean, I'll tell you this straight up. You get a contract to do it, they're going to fuck it up. They just do. That's the nature of all contracts. As low as bitter bullshit, not going to work. So if everybody says, oh, you need to privatize, fuck your face. The government, it's not the most efficient, it's not the best, but 9 times out of 10, for most things, it's going to be better than the private sector. I know it's a lot of people don't want to hear, but when people are career employees, they're dedicated to the mission, dedicated to the company, they will do the job. They just need a purpose. They need a clear thing to do it. When you're subject, when you're in jobs like this, government jobs, every 4 years there's an election.
So why when Biden was in there, why did he hire thousands and thousands and thousands of more IRS agents, but not thousands and thousands of more people to work at the VA?
He actually did. He had the biggest increase ever in our agency's history. We got 50% more people than he did last year. He did. Well, that's a problem of liberalism, throwing money at stuff instead of actually fixing the root causes. But that's whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you let me catch up. Stand by. Sorry guys. But I think most of the media is too left.
Overall, dude, at the end of the day, America's still the best goddamn country to live in, man.
It depends on your outlook.
They try to tell you, everybody, they try to tell you that America's the most
if you have basic shit in your life, America's a great place. If you're not doing good, America is not the best.
If America was such a horrible fucking place to live in, why is everybody trying to come here?
All right. Do you think
people aren't just going to America? People are coming to the UK. People are going to Italy. People are going to France. People are going to Sweden and Norway. People in Sweden and Norway will think their country's the best. People in Germany will think their country's the best.
Yeah,
that's a country pride thing. At the end of the day, it's just random land. Who gives a fuck about arbitrary?
How many times have you heard me saying one of the problems with Americans is to think that the world starts at one edge of the Atlantic and it ends at the start of the Pacific? There's you call everything World Series because you're so American centric.
Yeah, you got one team in Toronto. It's a World Series.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm not having a go. It just is what it is. But there's a big world out there. And
it's an isolation problem too, Captain. We're so isolated in America. Like you were saying earlier on Angie's stream, if there's no need to get a passport for a lot of Americans because there's so much shit to do. How many people have seen the Grand Canyon out there? You know what I mean? That's a vacation. If I could fly to the Grand Canyon and I could just fly there for $150 for Airlines.
Grand Canyon?
or as opposed to getting a $160 passport and go through customs, do all this, proper paperwork to get into the UK. Of course, I'm going to go to the Grand Canyon. It's 10 times easier. If I got 4 people in my family, by the time I get 4 passports, that's $600-$700. That's a lot of fucking money. Just going
you hear about that little boy that fell in the Grand Canyon?
What was that, Mike? Sorry.
It was a few weeks ago. You hear about that little boy that fell in the Grand Canyon?
I did not.
He took a long fucking leap.
But as far as the media being too left, I think the media's problem is just relevancy at this point. I mean, the media is the news media at least is under the same thing that Hollywood is.
Anybody really
they contract the same
anymore,
nobody watch. I mean, whoever watches it is in the echo chamber. The problem is like on social media, for example, everybody blocks people who don't agree with them. Whatever, but like that just it makes an echo chamber. People complain about shit. They're complaining to people who, if you're complaining to people who are agreeing with you, you're not getting your message.
Yeah, and if you want to Google something, like just because you believe it, you can Google it and you can find it to be true. But for the other person, you can also Google it and find it not to be true.
I
like,
just think
there's just so much shit out there.
There's a reason, people, the mainstream media is not relevant anymore because they're all saying the same thing. There is no opposition anymore. Even, they all just tell you the same story no matter what, So, and that's just stupid. I mean, papers have always had their biases because they were owned by moguls, and TV was the same, but it was never. But the problem is they used to have different viewpoints. So one paper would be pro this and one paper would be that. One TV station would be pro this and one would be that. So you had some sort of opposition. It's not like that anymore, So
growing up, for me, I think we're all about the same age. I guess we're all in our 40s, right?
Just about.
Growing up. Like there used to actually be media, man. You could turn on ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever. They would actually tell you what the actual news was. Now it's all like they're all pushing propaganda.
Well, I mean, it's the internet. It's the internet too, and access to information. I would argue that we've got too much access to information.
Yeah,
there's some things that, like say a report comes out, a government report comes out. The guy from the right gets his spin. The guy from the left gets his spin. They both produce articles saying different shit about the same policy. Back in the day, they would just report it. We could learn for ourselves. There's none of that now. It's all groups.
We didn't have that. And
there's 10% of people on the fringes who think right and who are free thinkers, and then there's this 90% group in the middle. 70% of them are apathetic, and 20% just are very agenda.
I would say 90% of them are just fucking ignorant, and they just like whatever they see on TikTok, they believe.
Well, TikTok, I think.
We had to go to payphones when we were kids. Fuck, smartphones didn't even come out before like my first daughter was born.
Well, that goes back to the too much access to information. We don't need access to everything. Like for example, with the death pool. Like back in the day, we'd have to, if we had a death pool, we'd have to wait till the newspaper comes out, see the obituary. Now it's literally if I don't find out within 10 minutes, it seems like odd, you know what I mean? Because it just breaks. You go on Twitter, somebody puts a report out, everybody retweets it, etc. Or sorry, reposted. I know it's X. Sorry, Elon, if you're watching.
Sorry, Elon, if you're watching.
What do you think? Like, dude, if Elon's very interactive with like Twitter and stuff. I always wondered, like, if I was like, say, Jerry Seinfeld and going to this group,
Elon, if
you're bored and you just need some justification, just go in the group and say, "Hey, everybody," and they just fucking all.
I like Elon, man. I like that he basically gave the big fucking finger to everybody.
Elon is the more you look into Elon's like staring into the sun. The more you look at it, the more you're gonna get blind, and the more you're gonna learn. It's gonna be horrible. Like everything the guy says is bullshit, dude. Everything Elon's ever said is turned bullshit. Hyperloop was bullshit. And the Tesla's not a good car.
He's an arrogant
Starlink's whatever, but
rich. He's a rich, arrogant fucking prick. Like so.
Well, they're all like that, and that's a problem.
Like, at least
people aspire to be.
He's on a different side of the rich, arrogant prick, rather than Bezos and Zuckerberg.
I tell you why I think he's a legend, right? So when he was on Joe Rogan, and years ago, I only saw it recently, but he was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about the SpaceX thing. So they were nowhere near as advanced as we are now, but they were talking about. He made the statement when he was showing the design for the rockets. He's such a big fan of the film The Dictator. He went, it needs to be pointier. Right? So Joe Rogan's laughing. Did you really say that? He went, yes. And he said, did you tell your engineers that? He went, yes. Did they know it was because you liked the film The Dictator? He went, yep. He says, did it affect the performance? Yep. I don't care. I wanted them pointier. So, and that really tickled me. I just thought that was brilliant. Just eccentric and mental. He says there's negligible difference, but the rockets need to be pointier. That's what they were like in Bugs Bunny and all the rest of it. So
I like it, dude.
What I think about Elon to me, he wants to be a comedian.
He opened up down here in Texas. He opened up a new plant to produce microchips because we're getting all our shit from overseas, China and shit. Like he opened up a new plant here in Texas and Taylor, outside of Austin. Like he's opening up new plants. He's doing these things, and especially everybody's coming here to Texas, anyways. But like, dude, he's actually doing shit that helps our economy as Americans and giving people Americans. Or
he's a grifter who's getting a lot of tax breaks and exploiting the government and the citizens who think we're not fucking smart enough to see through his bullshit. The guy is a huckster, dude. You gotta call it what it is. The guy's not funny. The guy thinks he's a good troll. He's not good at trolling. He's not good at talking to people. He's not good at enforcing policy. His companies are all bullshit. His employees are miserable. I don't like anything about Elon Musk. I think the guy is a detriment to society. I mean,
I've just noticed Jules is still in the chat, so can we change the subject to talk about hot redheads?
Yeah, I'm down with that. Who's the most hottest redhead in the entire world?
Oh shit, dude!
Oh, the one porn star got to be the porn star.
Karen Gillan.
Gillan.
Oh,
yep.
I'm trying to think. I could only remember them by their titties.
She was the girl, and I'll find the picture. She was the girl, the hot redhead that was in Scottish. She was in Jumanji, the remake of Jumanji, run about. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll find a picture and I'll show you if I can.
Oh, God.
Images.
No.
Oh, here we
Christina
go.
Hendricks and Isla Fisher. Christina Hendricks has some like.
Okay, I remember Christina Hendricks. She was okay. She's not as bosomy as I would like.
Isla Fisher? Nah, man. Come on now.
Let's see here.
I don't know if you know who she is. Isla Fisher is fucking hot, bro.
There's got to be somebody.
You sure that?
And if you want to go back, you can go to what's her name? Johan or Lohan or Lindsay Lohan was like pretty hot back in the day.
Yeah, but now she's been ran through and she's a druggie, so she's ruined. That girl is the hottest redhead in the business at the minute.
Look up Isla Fisher.
I know who Isla Fisher is.
Stone. Julianne Moore's pretty cute. I fuck with Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore's a MILF.
All right.
She's a total MILF, dude.
God, there's not many redheads, bro. There's not. Allison Hannigan from whatchamacallit?
Nah, Isla Fisher.
No, but whenever she started out on Buffy and all, she was good. But I watched that Jumanji just because she's run about in that outfit for 90 minutes. And it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Well, she did all those fucking Marvel movies too. She was what's her name? Didn't she?
I don't know. I don't watch Marvel.
Didn't she play the robot woman or whatever?
Like he said, I don't really watch Marvel, and if they do, I don't remember the characters. I like when people get arguments about. I don't think Sophia Loren was a redhead, but man, she had some fucking bosoms. She was fucking.
Christina Hendricks, dude, fucking basketball.
No, I'm talking about Sophia Loren, bro. She just passed away, rest in peace. But man, she was fucking phenomenal, bro. Even up into her 80s, she was still fuckable, right?
You're not wrong. Sorry, did somebody just suggest Ron Jeremy as a hot redhead, or did I?
Yeah. I don't think the carpets match the drapes if Ron Jeremy is a redhead.
I'm not taking Ron Jeremy.
You know, I don't think I've ever watched a Ron Jeremy flick. I just don't. I mean, he's not good looking. Like,
no, it's like the fattest. It's like fucking. What's that guy from Ninja Turtles? The fucking warthog, like.
They said it.
Was a Bobak or a beast?
When you've got 3 legs, it doesn't matter what the rest of you looks like. Let's face it. So,
dude, they said back in the late 70s he was making $1,000 a day doing fucking porn, bro.
It's insane, dude. Porn's probably harder.
Nowadays, these guys just—that's another problem. If you want to get to a problem in America nobody ever talks about because they get into the wrong topics, it's fucking porn, dude. Like, porn has made an entire generation of people unrealistic. Like, if you watch a porn, and be real, everybody here has seen a porn in the past 10 years. If you haven't, whatever, turn the TV off for a second. But like, instead, you go into a porn, as soon as the fucking dick comes out, it's always hard. There's never, she's never sitting there fucking getting it hard, or there's never any. It's ridiculous, and that's
it
really
desensitizes you to reality, and then especially for women, then you feel like you have this you have to compensate. You have to work harder because you've seen this shit in porn. Like this is not reality, bro.
I one of the times I was in Amsterdam, me and the mate was there, and the last day he was into the sex shop and he wanted to buy his girl a toy to take home. So he's literally looking at all the dildos and vibrators or whatever, and he's looking and the not Ron Jeremy, John Holmes, apparently a life-size replica of his, but it was only you really see the end of the box. It was sort of on the shelf I got there, and he grabbed it and he just starts pulling it, and it just kept coming out. The thing was fucking, and he didn't even get the end. He just went, "No, she's not getting that." Just slid it back in and walked away. Fucker, she's not getting one.
Well, that's a good piece of advice. A wise guy once will tell you: never get your girl or wife a fucking pocket rocket that's bigger than your own crank. Because why would you do that? It'd be like, imagine your girlfriend buying you a fucking pussy that's bigger than hers or whatever.
Well, let's be honest, man. Everybody's look, they all got 9-inch dicks. This is not reality, okay? So now women all expect you.
Right, speak for yourself, bro. Sure.
Well, yeah, okay. Bullshit. Don't lie. And so, for the most part, and look, we're all rocking about 6 inches for the most part. But everybody's
want the 6'6s, bro. They want you to have a 6-pack, 6-figure income, 6-figure life insurance policy. What was the other two? 6-inch dick, 6 toes in your left foot, and there was another one. I can't remember.
I got a 6-pack of beer in my stomach. I got a fucking 5.5-inch dick, and that's what I'm rocking.
Well, it's like this, man. It's like this. Most chicks don't really care about dick size. If you're acceptable, they're fine.
I don't know.
They're not gonna tell you that.
Porn tells you. And then plus, every woman that you see, when you're watching porn, you want to be like, "Oh yeah, daddy, oh you hit it," and be all nasty and shit.
Well, that's another thing too, Mike, is that they get so gross in the titles. It's like stepmom finds out she's not related and then blows her tire.
You know what? That's the difference.
No, that's not the way the fucking world works. Quit putting step in anything. I want to see stepsister, stepbrother, stepcousin. I want to see anybody who's related to somebody fucking them.
Going on?
Okay? I don't care if the actors aren't real. Okay, I don't care if none of it's bullshit fake. Quit putting relations in the goddamn title of porn. It ruins 90% of it. Who the fuck are these freaks who want stepsisters, fucking stepbrothers?
Exactly.
No! Stop catering to the bottom 5% and think about the rest of your fucking market.
When you get on Pornhub,
fucking idiots.
When you get on Pornhub, dude, it's nothing but fucking your stepsister or fucking your stepmom. It's that's all they got, man. I'm like, come on now.
Well, in fairness, I haven't been on Pornhub in about 10 years, but the last time I looked, it was some of the stepsister stuff, so I can't say anything.
It's so bad, dude. My goodness gracious. They never pay attention to the market. Why does everything that's the problem with capitalism, Captain.
So one-sided.
Everybody wants they'll just throw money at a problem instead of actually solving the problem. It's easier to throw $1 million at something and get $50,000 out of it than it is to spend the $50,000.
Let's talk about the NFL, bro. How about them fucking Cowboys?
Do you think so you're a Cowboys
or not? How about the Cowboys?
Do you think the Cowboys are anything to worry about, or do you think the Giants just had a really bad game?
I think both. But how do you think about the Cowboys against the Jets now that fucking Aaron Rodgers fucking took that ACL hit?
Hey, this is where Captain's starts whistling on his head because he has nothing idea what we're talking about. But the Jets have a really, really, really good defense, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I think we have the same defense. So
the Cowboys got a good defense too. They really do. I would say honestly, wherever the game's at, that team is probably going to win.
I picked Cowboys to win, but I am worried. I feel like it's a trap game, after that 40-0.
Well, it's only been 1 week too, so it's everybody's overreacting to a lot of things. So we'll see.
Browns, I picked Browns to win this week. I picked Browns to win. Everybody else picked the Steelers that I play with. We pick our games every week, and I was the only one that picked the Browns to win. I think they can follow up.
It's Monday night.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And I didn't even see the highlights, man. Deshaun.
I was at that game, dude. It was fucking raining the whole time, and people were like judging.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, it was raining for the Cowboys game too. Like it was insane.
Right. Well,
do you think the Browns are going to pull it off this week?
I think they got a pretty good chance. I mean, it's a Monday night game on the road, which is never easy. But I mean, I know for a fact there's a lot of Browns fans making the hour or 2 hour journey down to Pittsburgh. Browns have got the crazy new whiteout uniforms that they're going with, so that's gonna be fun. Steelers got a lot of people on IR. Deontay Johnson's out. Cam Hayward's out for like 6 weeks, so they're decimated. The Browns secondary is looking really good. Kenny Pickett's not good.
Are you going in, Joey? Are you traveling?
I'm not actually. I'm not. I took the day off. The next day off work. I just want to chill with my buddies at the bar and just watch it because it's like a 2 hour drive. But I mean, the game ends at like 11:30. By the time we get to the parking lot out of the stadium, it's gonna be like 12. We get home at 2 o'clock. That's a long fucking day. You know what I mean?
I picked Browns to win definitively. Like I got faith in the Browns. Like I'm not like a huge Browns fan. I do like Deshaun Watson. Like from the Texans, I thought he did good things when he was there, but I think good things are going to happen. But dude, same thing with Dallas. Like it's not going to be an easy game. Like if we win by 3, I'll be happy.
So who wins the whole thing this year? Then who wins the big one then?
I mean, honestly, the way these teams perform, that's such a wild question. You could make a case for 15 teams to win it.
Really?
I would say, I don't want to get ahead of myself and say the Browns. So if I'm throwing out the Browns in the AFC, in the NFC, dude, it's got to be the Niners. The 49ers have such a great defense.
Yeah.
Their offense is so explosive and dynamic.
Well, we'll see what happens. We got to play the 49ers. Cowboys got to play the 49ers in like, week 4, week 5? We'll see.
So I would say this answer that I give
Cowboys beat the
49ers. This isn't like lock, stock, and barrel. If you ask me today who's going to be in there, I would say and we throw out my Browns bias. I'll say in the NFC it'd probably be the Niners. And the AFC, I mean, geez, there's so many random teams.
Man, you don't even
look good. The Dolphins look really good. The Browns look really good. The Bengals looks like shit, but they're still the Bengals. The Bengals are pretty good.
Hey, so who would be your number 2 in NFC?
Number 2, fuck, it's hard to not take the Eagles, and then the Cowboys would probably be 3. I mean, let's just be real. The Eagles just got such a good running game. I
think time will tell, man. Like if we beat, I don't know if it's week 4 or 5 we play them. I can't remember, but like if we beat and we're playing at San Francisco, if we beat them and like just fucking kill them, like then I gotta take the Cowboys to the home, dude.
Well, it's such a parity league too. Like the NFL is good at one thing. That's keeping like the teams competitive, keeping the league parity, because they get a hard cap. And there's so many good or potentially good, teams this year. It's just gonna be a fun year to watch football, man. It really is. Like I said, there's probably 10 teams in the AFC right now. I could bring up 10 different guys. They'd be like, oh yeah, this is why my team's gonna win. This is why my team's gonna win. Just because this team won last week and that team was good last year, etc. So it's gonna be fun.
Bills, like for AFC, I think Dolphins and the Bills look pretty good. Even though Bills lost to the Jets after Rodgers went out, I think they're still game.
The Bills are okay, but I think the Bills are going to regress a little bit this year. I don't think
on the AFC side, man.
I think the AFC East is the best division of the AFC. People were saying it's the North, but I think the AFC East this year is going to be the best.
You can never beat the Pats, even though I bet against them this week again. But I don't know. It's going to be hard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, live from Chino Hills, wherever the fuck this motherfucker lives. It's Dorito. How you doing, buddy?
That's actually not too far.
Dorito, what's up, buddy?
I always say somewhere Hills in it, like Chino Hills, Laguna Hills.
Yeah, no, actually Chino Hills is right there, dude. Laguna Hills is right there.
Nice.
Well, Laguna Hills is a little further.
Everybody pull his finger.
Oh, man. So what's up with you, Dorito? How's life on this beautiful Friday?
Good, but kinda. Just had to have a little battle with my boy. And
with your boy, you mean your dick or your son?
My son.
All right.
Yeah.
How old is he?
6.
Oh yeah.
And he thinks his shit don't stink.
Yeah, well, they all do that.
I mean, this point right here is kind of true. I mean, it's if you want to talk about the biggest money laundering scheme out there in the history of the world, this goes back generations. It's fucking art, totally art. Like art prices is subjective. people to buy art, they just deduct it. I mean, there's no way that's not straight up money laundering. You know, people think about it. Go to art museum, people are like, oh, I could paint that. You probably could. So where the fuck is all this money coming from? You know what I mean?
I gotta go get that little shit a hug.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah. So I'm stoked. So for those wondering the weekend plans, tomorrow is a walkathon up at the school. At 4, I'm going to my boy Don's house. We're going to watch Ohio State game. Tomorrow night, there was something else. I was going to go to the comedy show out and that's right. Nikki wants to go to the fucking Holy Name High School game. So I'm going to go to the Holy Name Norton State game.
That's
tomorrow night.
They did high school games on Friday night.
No, they do it Friday and Saturday up here, depending on stadium availability, that kind of shit. And then I'm working on the guy from Stereo MCs. To get yourself connected. He's going to be on the show, but I got to get a final date on that. Larry Hankin is going to come back in the show September 25th at like 1:30 Eastern, 6:30 UK time, so that should be fun. He has a new book out, and fuck it. Like I said, it's been a rough time for emails, but I got a bunch of emails out, so we'll see on who's getting up there. Brian, what is up, sir? How's life, man? We are rocking the house. I'm gonna, since nobody's super chatted today, I'm gonna eat me a cookie regardless because these are good cookies.
I see your cookie and I'll raise you a gummy.
Nice. I got gummies, but I don't want to waste the gummies unless somebody fucking brings the heat, which is fine. But these are good cookies, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's I've been cooking them less and less, so they're not, because like I'll notice like the cookies at the store. If you go to like the gas station and they got the pre-baked cookies or whatever, they're never burnt. They're always the same color on both sides. So I've been like decreasing the time, and they still come out good. I mean, at the end of the day, you could eat the cookie batter because there's no eggs in there. But like, I want to get them to where they look as much like the store cookies as possible. You know what I mean? So people can get high and shit.
Yeah, because you have to get these perfect for when's the vote to legalize it in Ohio? Is it next year?
Yeah, no, it's this year, this November. And then if it's voted on 30 days after that, it goes into effect.
It has to go through some sort of food.
So once it's signed into law by the governor, I take it, or whoever does it, you then can start selling that shit. So then you have to start thinking about presentation as much as performance, because it's okay you sell it to friends that know you and know the product. You then want to be able to sell it to people that don't know you and don't know the product.
No, 100%. Well, it's going to be a feasibility thing. I mean, do I keep it underground? Do I make it a legit business? I mean, it's people, the incoming, they're going to call it the green gold rush, whatever, the green rush. But like, people are always focused on the growing side. Like, if I'm an everyday man, common man, don't even think about it, because you know damn well these corporations and big money are just going to come in, because that's just the way America is. It's like there's rags to riches growth stories about how somebody, it's just not fucking happening.
I think
not true. Not true. It's the growers. Let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, just because in my head, and then I'll shut up. Because I'm not 100% sure how it works. So when you get it signed, then people can open up dispensaries in your area. So if you could get a deal with a certain dispensary to get cheap product to begin with, and they then stock your cookies, it could be win-win for both of you. They get a bit of sales, you get to sell your product to them, and they sell it in their store.
Oh yeah.
And then
but
you don't have to market
that runs into an issue. That runs into a back-end issue, because a lot of these places are regulated, and I don't regulate the amount of weed I put in there. I try to put it as strong as I can. So like doing it into official dispensary, that market's probably gonna be taken up by somebody. I don't know. I gotta see what the business entry requirements are. Some states, say like Oklahoma and Oregon, shit like that, it's only like $1,000 and you can just run your business. So there's so many of them. But like if there's a $50,000 business fee, or what I mean, that's how bureaucracy impedes capitalism in certain aspects.
But you could possibly play both sides of it. You could do the proper ones for the certain strength and all, and certain for the store, and you can still make the stronger ones and sell to your buddies, and sell them that way unofficially. So you could do both, I suppose. But and you're a local guy, you're well known there. So if you can get a couple of stores to put stuff with your brand on it, and people know you, and you can say to people, go to such and such a store and ask for Joey Edibles cookies or whatever. You might as well, if people know you and they do.
Oh yeah. there's so many legal things I got to look into before I can, you know what I mean? There's because with work and this and that, you know what I mean? So I got to, you know, I'm not saying that's a, you know, not in the bucket, but like in terms of like legit being a player in the Wii game and, you know, not just doing what I'm doing, that's a lot of, I need a lot more time.
Have it down to amounts, percentages, testing.
Right. I literally eyeball everything. I eyeball everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it's a complete, that's the whole thing about nowadays, the shops, a lot of stuff is now like out here in California, it's sealed and jarred. It's all been tested. It's got a rating, all that stuff. And they can't sell anything that's just pop it open. It's sealed. That's one.
Yeah, but what about cookies, Dorito? Sorry, again, I'm asking because I don't know.
Cookies as well.
Going to buy cookies.
Cookies. Hey, I'm not gonna lie on this, Kevin. The cookies,
the butter that's cooked
yourself, they're stale, dude. They're never fresh. They're never fresh. So like that, if I could find a way to, like, I don't know if you ever heard of a place called Krispy Kreme, but there's this donut company in the United States called Krispy Kreme, and whenever they bake a fresh batch of donuts, they put a light on because they taste really good out the oven. People come and get the fresh one. You do something like that with the cookies, that could bang. But, you know, there's the whole, because if you ship them to a dispensary, put them in a thing, by the time you get there, you're talking 3, 4, 5 days. You know, they're probably not going to be as fresh. So,
well, it's depending on the vendor that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a local vendor, then you can get fresh. But the whole thing is it has to be regulated. Like here in the state of California, everything's under regulation.
Yeah, but in fairness, I do know California is one of the most ridiculously heavy regulated.
Colorado's the same way.
Colorado. I'm not saying it's unique, but Ohio might not be as bad.
There's a certain bar for legalization that they have to hit, and that's one of them. You have to show THC content, CBD content, percentage, and value. You have to show all that, and it has to be consistent. If it's not consistent, then they can't regulate it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the way they look at it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the regulations might be different than Ohio because they're not federal regulations; they're state regulations. Because it's not a federal.
I think it's kind of across the board. I think we were modeled after Colorado, and a lot of places were modeled after Colorado.
Yeah, but Colorado's communist at the best of times. So California's just copied it, and look, it's famous. California's famous or infamous for its regulation. I'm just saying other states might not be the same. And you'll only know once it passes, and then you find out, you know. But I think the local dispensary, I think if you can play on your local name in a local dispensary, it's fresh, it's regular, people know you can have your brand on it. I think it's win-win for everybody. And because you can promote it on the likes of this as well. And if you get doing stand-up and all again, you know, the local angle's a big thing for you. I mean, even if it's only pocket money, even if it's only paying for your weed.
That's what it does now. That's what it really does now. I mean, I don't, between, you know, whatever I do with that and then, you know, sell edibles to friends, I mean, if I get to pay for the weed, it's fine. I mean, weed's to the point where it's so cheap that, like, it's the effort is honestly, like, anybody, I've said the recipe out loud fucking 30 dozen times in the year. But people, it's so much easier to say, here's $5, give me a cookie, than take 2-3 hours out of your life to go make edibles. You got to go to the store, you got to buy the ingredients, you know what I mean? So that's in the underground thing, you know, it's part of the appeal, I think. I mean, like if you go to a dispensary, it's that whole corporate environment thing, blah, blah, blah. Anytime I'm doing it, you don't know what you're getting, but you know, you got all these fucking legendary stories that we got to be real. A lot of people don't talk about because, like, if they're on them, they did embarrassing shit or. You know what I mean? So like, and you want testimonials, guys? I got fucking 15 testimonials. There's people went to the emergency room 3 times almost. Went to the emergency room. So many hookups, fucking threesomes and shit like that. These fucking cookies are bomb. They're powerful. Ask in the chat. I guarantee there's 3-4 people who have had them. It'll give you a good testimonial. But, I mean, that's another. I kind of like the underground feel of it. You know what I mean? Like if it get down to testing and regulations, and I gotta. You know, hey, and if anybody's watching from like creative artists or anything, this is all we're just joking around right here. Yeah. But you know, I don't want to get into the testing and the regulation. And
I can tell you what's probably going to happen once they legalize it. you're going to have a lot of pop-up dispensaries, okay? And they're going to be unlicensed dispensaries that are going to pop up and running their application. Now, in the beginning, when dispensaries, just like here in California, when they started up, they got their license through somebody else. Because if you lose your license for a dispensary, in this state at least, that you're not able to get another one. If they take your license, you're not able to get another one. So the pop-ups will start up with all that sort of stuff, cookies that you can get that aren't regulated, all this different stuff, and they'll get rated. And then the person that's name it's in will lose their license. Then they'll get another person, and they'll use them for like an investor, so to speak. They'll say, we're willing to invest in this dispensary. And that'll last for about 2 years, and then they'll finally get it to the point where it's regulated.
Well, I know how Ohio is, because I bought weed from Ohio when they first started the medical program. I know how Michigan is. I know how the prices are. I would consider myself top 5%, maybe top 0.1% of experts on this exact scenario. So I'll tell you exactly. Hey, look in the camera. I'm like a fucking idiot. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen here in Ohio. It's going to pass. It'll be legal, but it's going to take a good year before you're able to buy it at a recreational place, because they're going to take the ones that are medical now, give them a recreational license and process the paperwork. It's going to take many years, many months. And then new ones, the first new recreational that aren't attached to medical will probably open up late 2025. And they'll open up for a little bit. And with the prices they have now, they're charging in Ohio, they're going to get no business, because Michigan's pennies on the dollar. I can buy shit. I buy a fucking ounce of shake for $30 up in Michigan. Same shake in Ohio dispensaries at $150.
Well, plus, it's not federally insured. They don't you can't.
Well, there's a twist to that, Mike. There's a twist to that. So what's going to happen is Ohio will price the shit too high, and all these guys will come in initially with this first wave. 80% of them will flame out. There'll be some of the bigger ones that'll still stick around because they got more capital. They'll realize that they have to match the Michigan prices. Prices will lower a little bit. 2026, 2027. It'll be a good time to buy weed in Ohio. Until then, that legal gray area is going to do whatever. But on the federal legal thing, they're dropping it in the next month or two, as I predicted. What I told everybody in these streams, going back to summer of 2023, that they were going to fucking drop it from the Schedule 1, and they are. They're going to put it in the Schedule 3. Not big enough yet.
And what is in the category of Schedule 3?
If state law allows you to do it, but it's still a federal
Trump state. Now, the thing is even though it's federally and now going to be dropped to a Schedule 3, what is rated? Look up what Schedule 3 is rated, Joey. Look up what drugs.
Even Schedule 3, Dorito, is
what drugs? No. Is it still categorized as a drug, though?
Yeah, just like fucking.
Oh, yeah, but it's a misdemeanor.
Be able to regulate it the way they want to regulate.
Yeah, but it's a misdemeanor versus used to, it would be a felony.
It's been a misdemeanor out here in California since it was before.
Well, yeah, but that's California. I'm saying, in Texas, man, it was a different story.
Same with Vegas. It used to be that way, even a C to get you put in jail.
Yeah, so the different states do different things, and different states will still do different things, but they will. If you got LSD or fucking mushrooms or something like that, they'll classify that as a felony. Or if you got pills, they'll classify
it's
that
under
as
the same classification as prescription drugs.
It's
that's what you are a gentleman and a scholar. And when I say that's the first super chat I've had in months.
Is he really?
Yes, it is. It is very much. That's all. I made one a couple weeks ago, but JB, thank you. I got to do a cookie now, so bear with me. And I'm about to get baked like a motherfucker.
Marijuana
high school game was tonight.
Marijuana should not be listed as a goddamn a class 1, you should not get a felony for having marijuana unless you got about 50 pounds of that shit in the back.
No, even then, I don't give a fuck. Here's the thing with marijuana. And I talked to Spike Cohen about this 3 years ago, and I love the line, and I'll continue repeating the line. Whatever the laws are for selling onions, the same laws should apply to fucking weed. Bottom line. Yeah. So if you got imported laws on onions, whatever, you want to smuggle onions, sell onions in the street corner, fucking do it.
And then you look at some states, man, the way they're doing things now, definitely you look at Illinois and places like California where you can literally commit murder and they'll let you out without bail. It's But I know it was turned in, especially in Illinois. Like I was like, what the fuck are they thinking, man?
California?
Well, I'm saying like Illinois, especially, it turned into an actual law where if you got literally fucking committed murder, you could get out without bail.
All right, stand by. We're gonna read the law. I know what you're talking about. We'll read the law to properly educate the populace on what's going on here. Hold on.
But yeah, we should stay away from politics because you know how the.
All right, here's what it is.
Come on out
Illinois
of
bail
jail.
law has
Even
changed
one of my
significantly.
family members looks like I'm going to jail too.
And I actually agree with this. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, we gotta hang them and shit like that. But starting listen. Starting January 1st, 2023, Illinois will be the first state to eliminate cash bail altogether, creating a system based on risk assessment and predetermined criteria for release or pre-detention. I agree with that 100 per fucking.
But look at the laws that they're talking about that they're going to let them go cash bail free. Fucking murder.
I saw some of the ones, but bail reform and the way they do the criminal justice system is highly fucking horrible.
Well, I agree with that. But I think you're going way too far in the wrong direction.
I think with capital murder, from what I believe, is there's always a no bail setting.
Well, I mean, you can't use outliers to break up an entirely good
kidnapping.
And we also have to acknowledge the fact that the Illinois state government is not exactly the most competent in the world. But the eliminating of cash, what is that echo? The eliminating of cash bail is a beautiful thing. It needs to be done in this country.
I believe
poverty. If somebody goes in there, say you got, and I know I might be using outliers myself, whatever. It's my show. I'm going to talk about what I want and the topic into the conversation in. If you're out there and you're in some corrupt county and the person who's running that law enforcement office doesn't like you or your type, and they just put you on a charge, and he's got this crazy charge, $150,000 bail.
I understand that, but look, man, if I'm drunk outside of a bar and I'm pissing on a fucking wall, and I have to go to jail, yet this motherfucker just committed murder, and then he gets out without cash bail, how is that fair?
Well, the lowest amount in California is $1 million for bail for capital murder.
Well, I mean, all right, first off, nobody's getting just released back into the streets on murder charges.
Oh, they are all the time.
Exactly.
I'll disagree with you.
No, that's what they say in California. Los Angeles and Orange County, murder is bailable at $1 million.
I mean, look up just go to YouTube, type in Illinois bail reform, and make your own determination. I'm not here to change any minds. You're really, I live in Illinois, and I'm in Illinois, so
let's go back to talk about sports. We should never talk about politics.
Either way, we lose half the audience, right? We talk NFL, the Brits ain't listening. We talk bail.
Fuck, man. Yeah, we definitely shouldn't talk about politics.
I'm quite happy to talk about hanging people. You know me.
Nobody's ever going
to Hey, Mike, I got to tell you a funny story, bro. So there's this guy. His name's Jimmy Malone. I interacted with him a lot on X, but he was a local radio host, and he's very. I'm pretty much. He talks to other guys, but I'm one of the main guys he talks to. What is that fucking echo? Is that
it's not me, dude. I got.
Stand by, Dorito.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm talking now. No, it's not Dorito.
It's not me. I got you turned off on the.
Hold on. All right, let's see. Is it Mike? Yep. Is it Mike? Yeah, that's you, Mike. Well, what the hell, man?
Dude, I only have you on StreamYard. I don't have you on anything else. I don't have you on YouTube. I got the only thing I have on right now, dude. I'll show you a picture. Is just StreamYard. That's the only thing I got.
At this point, doesn't care.
Is the chicken enchilada burrito, is that new? I'm gonna go grab a beer.
If it's
I take a picture with the giant Samsung phone. Giant Samsung phone is also tiny Kia car.
Dude, I'll back out and see if you still have it, and then I'll come back in. How about that?
Hold on, just keep talking. Hold on. Yeah, do that. Actually, that might work.
Hold on, I'm gonna back out right now. Then I have to bring YouTube back up to get your link. All right, so I'm gonna get out.
I'll drop the link in the chat. So
So Bouchy, Captain Bapton.
I'm doing grand. This is the last couple of hours of my week off work, so yeah. Although I suppose I'm off tomorrow and Sunday because I never work Saturday and Sunday, but this is my last holiday day, so it goes in quick. 5 days off work, so
this shit flies, right? I got 4 days off starting tomorrow because I got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I took Tuesday off because the Browns are playing Monday night, and I want to, hang out late and shit like that. But
want to watch them lose?
They're playing. They got pretty good. They're favored to win, bro. So we'll see. I mean,
I still a few days. I've a couple of days booked in December because I've a midweek gig to go to, so I've booked a couple of days off. I've still 4 days to take between now and Christmas. So, but yeah, the week off's it's been good. It's fun. You saw the picture today, Joy. I deliberately took a couple of the stones because when I was there, so I'll have to let Joey see those because that's you basically yank them off the causeway to build the castle. And
somebody
just
took stones off of that Giant's Causeway to build a castle.
Yeah, in the 1300s, I think they started it.
That was before it was the UNESCO Heritage Site. It was before the UNESCO even existed.
How the fuck did they let them start doing that right now, huh?
I don't know. Because it was a castle that we drove past last year when Joey was over on the way to the causeway. It's just an old ruined castle, but and I just said I would go back, because we didn't have time that day. Well, I didn't know about it in advance, and I just went up, just took a day off, because it was off on Tuesday. We just made a couple of mates, went up for a drive, and went up and around it, then went to the pub for something to eat, then went to Bushmills and bought some really nice whiskey. So, but yeah, the castle was very impressive. But I just, good day out. But yeah, started building in the 1300s, so very, very long time ago. But yeah, it's got parts of the Giant's Causeway in it. I didn't know that. So,
oh wow.
You see the wee hexagonal shapes.
I got a sweatshirt.
Yeah. I ever win the lotto in the hundreds of millions, man, I'm going to buy me a castle closest to you.
You don't even play the lotto. You're not going to be able to win if you don't play, bro. So
I do.
You do play the lotto? Why are you playing the lotto, bro? It's a horrible system. Why do you play that?
I don't care. What you say?
I rubber
your glue, biatch.
Somebody could win, man. You never know. Somebody could win.
I'm much happier with the $1.50, bro. It is what it is, man.
Well, it's like $2 for those fucking power things.
Well, if you're playing the Mega Ball, it's another fucking $1 in it, so it's probably like $3.
Well, if you want to go for the power play or whatever, like I just play the regular.
Yeah, if you only want to play one or two of them. All I'm saying.
Oh, hey, dude, your chances like 1 in 154 million.
I mean, they do say it's a tax on.
But somebody's got to win, man.
Yeah. It's a way to tax stupid people, is what they say. But I buy my tickets. I do our lottery, because somebody has to win something. Dude, so
when I was like 16 or 17, I worked at a fucking gas station, man. And there were people that would come in Texas, and we got the the 3-pick, like the pick 3 or whatever. And like there were people that would come in there and they would draw 3 times a day, and they would always come in there with the numbers, man. And like they would just drop like 12, 15.
You will if I win the lottery.
Every fucking time. And I'm like, seriously, bro? And like somebody would be like, oh yeah, I just won $50. And I'm like, yeah, and I sold you all these tickets and you spent $100 to get that. What the fuck is that about?
Well, I mean, people who spend that kind of money, I mean, it sucks that there's no mental health check before you go buy lottery tickets. Like there really should be. I don't know how that'd be enforced.
Good people, man.
If somebody wants to do something, let them do. As an adult, if somebody wants to drink too much, let them drink. If they want to do drugs, let them do drugs. If they want to go and play poker, let them play poker. If two consenting adults want to get into a ring and punch each other, let them do it.
I agree with Captain.
Well, you can't have too much freedom because then you'll get. No, I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. We can have more freedoms, but we need more. We got to get rid of legalese and shit. You can't be putting shit in the fine print. And,
I got you, JB.
You know what I mean? So I'm agreeing with, like, if people want to fight, that's fine, but they shouldn't have to fill, 400 billion thousand forms of fine print and insurance policies don't make sense. You know what I mean? Just let them fight. You know what I mean? But to answer this one, I'm pretty hip to the Canadian stuff. Trudeau's not really. We're allowed to talk about it here because none of us are Canadian, so we can talk about how crazy it is in Canada right now. Go to like Zillow or any of those housing sites.
Dixie Herbs ain't here right now.
Any house in fucking Ontario, Canada, or whatever, dude. It's the housing crisis hit them 3 times more it did us. The leadership is kind of incompetent. I don't really want to throw a guy totally under the bus, but because I'm not like expert on Trudeau, because he's done a couple good things. I mean, his weed legalization was good, but
It was a big
dude. He's so what he did with the Canadian truckers was so fucked up. Like, if you guys don't know what happened, they had like the Canadian Truckers Freedom Rally. Basically, he didn't want all these random restrictions or whatever.
They literally had people blocking highways, man.
So they started a GoFundMe. And the guy literally froze the GoFundMe and fucking stole all these people's money. I don't know how, and it's not constitutional because they don't really have a constitution. But all right,
did JV just call us mentally challenged?
See, JV, my idea is I'd buy the White Castle, but I'd eliminate the name, and I would also sell faux food too. Like the Thai food and all that different stuff, and I would change the name. And I would call it and get away with it just for this exact reason. I would call it Stony McFuckets, and I'd get away with it because I would sell faux food. So if you put in fuck it or anything like that,
so why buy a White Castle to do that? If you're gonna buy a White Castle,
everybody's still gonna come to the place and they'd say, "What you have?" I had Stony McFuckets.
Hey, just do this, Rito. Do the exact same thing they sell, but call it Black Castle and only have black employees, bro. That would make the news. All right, I'll be right back. I can get some more coffee.
Wow, yeah, you gotta go.
What's that fucking? What's that place?
You really gotta go.
If you buy an existing business and change its name and its business model, why not just open the building beside it and open something new?
They already established with the bomb burgers. If there's no such thing as White Castle anymore, everybody still is going to love White Castle burgers. And you can ask them after they went to White Castle burgers, which is no longer called White Castles because it's called what? You say, "What'd you have for dinner tonight?" "I had Stony McFuckets." You know what I mean? Come on, dude. If I won the 100 billion or whatever it was in the lotto before, don't you think it'd just be fun to do something like that just to make sure?
Well, fucking Mr. Beast, like he made his fucking he had all these goddamn restaurants and shit. Making that YouTube money. Like, I guess if you won $100 million or some shit like that, you could put out a restaurant saying Stony McFuckins, and you'd probably make a killing, man.
Why work on my own model when I could buy your model out from under you and put it out there with my name on it?
Everybody calling it McNuggets. We'll call it McNugget.
Capitalism, baby.
People would buy it just out of irony.
Yeah. Can I get a 6-pack of the chicken McFuckets, please?
I don't know, man. In South Texas, I'd have to go with the very Mexican style down here in South Texas, man. It had to be very Tejano type. Like in South Texas, dude, where I live, like I'd have to appeal to all the immigrants and shit we got coming across the border as well.
But then you couldn't call it fuck it. See, that's the whole thing. If you win the lottery and you didn't really care about it, and you just wanted the name fuck it. I own a chain of restaurants called Stony McFuckets. I won hundreds of billions of dollars in the lottery, and that's going to take what, $1 billion away? Fucking A, I want to own Stony McFuckets.
Stony McFuckets, I like it. I mean, I like it. I would eat there.
Where did Joey go to buy some lotto tickets? See, he's thinking my idea,
Joey McFuckets.
Yeah, come on, dude.
You got them fucking hookahs at all the tables and shit, and you
got better than McDonald's.
Yeah, a little spin around dispensary.
You gotta be better than McDonald's, man.
I just took over White Castle, and I made I'm making faux food there as well, so I can actually call it fuck it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So just Stony McFucket is
You spell it with a 4 instead of an F.
PHU.
Oh yeah, you could do it like that.
PHUC.
Like fat without the F.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Or you could call it fat ass.
There's a lot of faux and fucks restaurants around here, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You guys seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah. Remember that butt fuckers, rud fuckers, butt fuckers.
That's what they.
Yeah, do you remember when we thought Idiocracy was a comedy, not a documentary?
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm baiting.
Well, I see the
Dude,
humor
I
in it.
saw
I'll tell you
that
that much.
Ouch my balls. He's watching Ouch my balls.
Come on, dude.
Like,
That's
I'm
what I was
baiting.
saying, though. If anybody ever wanted another White Castle burger that was made just as good as the White Castles are that everybody loves,
You know
you
what?
have to go to Stony Brook.
He brought up
Get rid of that
Idiocracy. He brought up Idiocracy. Like, let's not just pass. Like, that is true. That's what's gonna happen in our future, man.
No,
Like,
it's what's happening now.
Like, yeah, rud fuckers is gonna turn into
Hey.
bud fuckers. Like,
If any of you guys want a niche that hasn't been touched because nobody really cares, go into, because Canadians can't really talk about it because of that random new law. Go into Canadian politics, call like the Canada Real channel or whatever, and talk about that shit. Oh, dude, you get so much fucking money right now because nobody's doing that. And you look at the total fuck. They got so much pent up anger up there. Point Fire's talking great points, man. He's been spitting some truth in the fucking chat tonight, and there's a huge market for that stuff because they're not allowed to talk about it up there. It's what happens when you get too much of something. You know, I mean, you can't just tell everyone yes all the time and make it. At the end of the day, there's a breaking point. You know what I mean?
yes, A. What are you talking about, A? You're eating that wiener on a stick, A.
All the players are going to get real fat and be a lot slower because they ate them cookies.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, my movie plot involves the Browns. So I want to tell you what my movie script is. All right,
Americans are so fat.
so there's a Federal Reserve Bank in Cleveland. For those who don't know overseas what the Federal Reserve is, there's 12 Federal Reserve banks in the states. They're in different cities, mostly in the East because they produced the system, you know, in the 1850s. That's where most of the people live. But there's a Federal Reserve Bank in downtown Cleveland. So the plot of my movie is where they make all the money, basically. Put all the money. The plot of my movie is a team involving like the cleaners and a couple parking lot guys steal one of the money-making machines through some kind of random event, like it causes a distraction on the other side of town, and they take the money machine when all the cops are over there, something like that. And then they slowly launder money through a couple of years, and they get like $1.5 billion or whatever it is, enough to buy the Browns. And they funnel everything through the money machine. And the Browns get Super Bowl like that.
The Browns. I mean, I kind of feel like that movie's been done except for the Browns part. Everybody's always trying to steal plates to like fake American money.
No,
Can't
just the
leave out
Cleveland connection
Mr.
alone.
Smith.
Boom.
Boom. Hey, look, we got Deshaun
What
Watson.
about Mr. Smith?
Ooh, what's
Can't
up,
leave
boy?
that guy out, or not the Browns.
What is we got to find out what Blake's IMDb is right now and see if it's higher than mine. So stand by.
Wow.
My IMDb right now is 11 million, so I'm not doing real good. Let's see what Blake's is.
11 million.
I'm the 11,309,555th most popular person in America right now.
What on IMDb?
Oh, wait, this is my best.
Yeah, and Blake is beating me, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, Blake is at 4,850,429. So Blake is 7 million more people popular than me right now, which is some bullshit, Blake.
Shit.
Right.
But who doesn't love Blake?
Bullshit.
The whole bunch of them.
Oh wow.
They just started sprouting up all over the yard.
Fucking buds, man. You got buds for days.
Yeah, look, there's one that's well, it's just one close up, but that whole thing was like
Shit, my buddy sent me a picture of one he had, but I think he was growing it in his fucking closet. But god damn it, that thing looked beautiful.
oh yeah, that one.
I don't know if I could find it, but god damn, it looks so good.
They smell good. And get this shit. I got this stuff in late February. They were clones of Maui Wowie.
Yowie wowie.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Well, not funny, but we have these fires in Maui. And then the other one is I have like the smaller plants are Pineapple Express.
I love Pineapple Express. That's one of my favorite top strains of all time. It might be my favorite sativa, Pineapple Express. I love it. Just smokes so good.
Yeah, the plants are real small though. I heard
it's hard to get it. They don't sell Pineapple Express much, dude. They don't. At least it's straight. I mean, they'll sell like pineapple or whatever, but like straight Pineapple Express is a hard strain to find. At least up here.
I gotta see if I can get more of
When I
them
was
again.
smoking, and I can't hardly smoke anymore, but like I like the hydroponics, dude. Like that shit is just so crystallized, man. That shit is
Yeah. Well, I got, like I
just
said,
buy
I got
whatever's
these
in
things
the-
in late February, and I vegged them in the house. I just left 24 light on it, all day long. Never shut it off, and they stayed little.
It's fucking insane, dude.
I did it. The ounces of shake are $30. I can't pass that up.
I can't wait. You said it's really good.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I go out there and look at them, talk to them, love them, give them magnetized water. Did you ever hear that?
Magnetized water? Explain that.
Yeah, you put magnets around the copper pipe as you're watering them, I guess, or I fill it in the jug like that.
Magnetized water. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, electroculture, they call it. Electroculture. I stuck antennas in the ground too. And some of the plants look really good with the weird wires in there.
I don't know. Fuck it, man. Whatever works, man.
Why not try it? It won't
good.
hurt anything sticking copper in the fucking ground
They
next
look
to
good.
it. It won't hurt it. Could only do good. Yeah, they do look good.
Shit.
Those got wires in them from the get-go.
My dad's birthday today. My birthday's Monday.
Those plants are over 5 feet high.
Man, some of these clips are so old. I haven't seen Colin
I had my buddy, dude. He and I've known this guy since I was a little kid, man. And he's friends with my mom. And dude, he was growing shit in his closet. He just put a grow light in his closet. And he grew this plant, man.
Yeah,
This
see,
fucking plant was huge, and the buds on it were just fucking insane, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't do it in the house, so I kept them in veg mode, and I lost a few. I had a whole lot of those things.
He upgraded and he went to hydroponics, and god damn, you wouldn't believe the crystals on those things, man, on these buds, like that were just insane, dude. I was like, yeah, you can definitely charge double for that.
Did somebody say Blake?
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
I can hate that song.
I just sent you a.
Fucking hate that song.
I see that clip 1,000 times. It still makes me laugh every single time. And once again, Blake, apologies. I'm sorry. It's low-hanging fruit, but it's funny.
I love Blake. I just hate that.
Honest for humor.
A lot of people don't like Nickelback. I'm a fan of Nickelback. I am.
Yeah.
They got good songs. What do you want me to say, bro?
No,
They're popular for a reason, you know? It's a cool thing to hate the pop. It's always
like
it makes me laugh about
man in history.
Well, the thing that's funny about entertainment is that it's always been in some cultures, like some people think it's always cool to hate the good thing. Like back in '67, you're like, oh, fuck the Beatles, when everyone 99 out of 10 people like the Beatles.
I would never say fuck the Beatles. I just hate Nickelback, man.
But think of it this way.
This has been a long debated thing, though.
I want to join the Mile High Club at 37.
I like Nickelback. But they're not a band that's going away to see. I'd rather kids were listening to Nickelback than fucking Lizzo and JLS and fucking all that shit.
Yeah.
Jack Crozier sells
Nickelback had
Canadian
some guitar in it.
Yeah, they might not be the best band ever. They're not Zeppelin. They're not Pink Floyd. They're not, AC/DC, whatever. But they're a good, solid rock band.
Old school Metallica is my fucking thing.
But that's the point. They're better listening to a rock band than fucking all them other wankers that are in the charts now with no talent that are selling stupid amounts of fucking ticket sales and all.
You guys gotta try when you're kind of stoned and
Metallica turned into a bunch of pussies too after the whole Napster thing, and when they started doing the symphony shit and just redoing their old songs. Metallica used to be the best goddamn rock band there was, man. You're talking about One, and just like Metallica was the best, and then all of a sudden they turned into a bunch of pussies.
You speak in absolutes a lot. You really do.
Yeah.
You're not expressing they are this, we are that, and
I love Metallica, dude.
Yeah, but see, that's what you say. I think Metallica's the best, not they were the best ever, because there are people here that might argue AC/DC, Pink Floyd, Queen, the Beatles, so
Oh God,
Iron Leopard.
Queen Beatles. Like this is a JV thing.
But
Queen.
you know, there's an awful lot of really good rock bands out there. I love Metallica, but you know, out of the best rock band ever, I could probably name you 10 that I would say were better than them. You know, without even breaking a sweat.
The
best.
We got to be real anymore with all the electronic stuff, bro. We got to differentiate between good music and music that's going to make money. Because going forward, I hate to tell a lot of people this. I mean, unless you go out there touring, good music just ain't going to make money. You're not going to make money on Spotify. You're not going to make money on YouTube. 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000 might make it, though. That guy with the long beard sings that country song, whatever, just made a big
Black album.
Beyond random virality, you're not going to make it, dude. It's just
there's two different kinds of bands. You have touring bands and you have record label bands that sell just straight out records, or not records anymore.
You got Metallica suing fucking Napster.
Yeah, Metallica, Nothing Else Matters, and Sandman. Sandman was like when they came out with that one. That's what got me.
Well, that was the last good album I think they actually produced was the Black Album, and
the one that's Nothing Else Matters. That's a good
in Austin,
one.
Texas. That was the last album they had.
I'm not hating on Metallica. I've got a Metallica tattoo, so I'm not hating on them.
I'm not a fan, but those.
I love Metallica, but you know.
I was just going to say there's one person on panel who's probably about like me that says, yeah, Metallica is pretty badass.
Oh,
but he got a poster behind him that says it all.
I had this Metallica in orchestra.
Maiden to me is one of the best
homemade
bands
CD
ever.
my son made at a high level.
Fuck that. I hated that album.
Oh my God.
When they played with the Philharmonic Orchestra, I hated that shit.
S&M. I mean, I'm not going to hate on it because they took a chance. The chance didn't work, but at least it took a chance. I mean, Metallica they've been around. Bands, we got to be real about most bands. Most bands only have a 4 to 5, maybe 10-year window of relevance. After that, they're just playing the classics. It's not.
I just would have preferred if they didn't do that with Philharmonic Orchestra and like fucking like just replayed their own shit.
Dude,
because what you already produced was good
one
enough.
of the baddest bases in the fucking world.
Don't forget about Ted Nugent's Stranglehold.
Oh yeah.
When I saw Metallica, Ted Nugent opened up
for him. Rock and roll.
Goddamn Rolling Stones are still going, ain't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. My whole take on that is I don't want to see people when they're over 70. They're just not the same. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see Aerosmith? No, I'm not, because Steven Tyler's 76 years old. I really don't care to see an old ass.
I wouldn't go to see him. I wouldn't go to that. I wouldn't
would be good. Would have been Soundgarden if they didn't off Cornell.
Oh,
I saw Soundgarden.
Chris Cornell, rest in peace. Like he was one of the best.
Good man, Soundgarden.
He was one of the best singers ever, man. Chris Cornell, like period.
Yeah, I saw Soundgarden and I hated them. Chris Cornell they were some of the dullest band I've ever seen. They were pretentious. They were boring. And I paid a lot of money to go. Yeah, I saw them in Castle Donington in 2012. Wow. They played just before Black Sabbath.
Really? They led for Black Sabbath.
Yeah, so it was, and I wasn't a big fan, but I wanted to see them because they were Soundgarden, and I went. They near put me to sleep. It was so dull. And they didn't even interact with the crowd. They didn't even say goodbye to the crowd. They started
there was some good stuff, man.
Just not my cup of tea, you know. But I had friends with me that loved them, you know. But they're just, I was never really into the Seattle sound, you know. I was never a big Pearl Jam fan, and you know.
Yeah, see, that's right. There was a lot of band from Seattle. What they had Pearl Jam there.
Eddie Vedder, like he's another like he can, you know, he's a good singer.
What about Tool?
To me, Maiden though. Let's look at this. And they're not my favorite band, by the way.
Iron Maiden?
They are up there. They are one of
Iron Maiden.
The thing is with Maiden is their albums were badass. Their album art was badass. All their promotion stuff was badass.
Eddie.
But then they do a live concert and it just floors you, and it's so much better than their album, than any of their merchandise or anything. You're just like, holy shit, you know, that's an Iron Maiden concert.
Yeah, I think Dorito is a little bit older than me.
Dude. It's like a Pink Floyd concert.
I never saw
an old school.
Never saw it in person.
Well, the problem with music and concerts now, bro, is that they did the same thing with higher education. They didn't peg their shit to inflation. Like, they just kept charging more, asking more to fans. Now it's like $300 to go to a show, $45 for a fucking t-shirt.
But to see Maiden is worth it. Dude, if you were, that's just it. Like the Power Tour, I wish I could go see them.
Hey, Thrash, what's up, buddy?
Tools playing, all those. But the tickets are an arm and a leg.
Oh, man.
But I'll live vicariously through my friend George because he's going.
You know what? Nobody's ever played as good as Thrash. And plus, he's wearing that Metallica fucking shirt, and I was just talking about him. So,
ready to rock and roll.
Love.
Well, that's the thing about Maiden, though, is Maiden had it all the way around. They had stage presence. They had a sellable production, sellable band, sellable name. Their albums were just for music.
I've seen him once.
Hey, let's give a minute to Thrash, man. He just popped up. What's going on, brother?
All right, Mike. How you doing, man?
Oh, I love you, man. What's going on?
All right. I saw you hanging out on somebody's stream about a week or so ago. I was just cruising around. I saw you hanging out with someone. So, hey, there's Mike.
I've been bouncing around, man. Like,
yeah, cool.
I kind of pick and choose now.
Yeah, Mike's a pretty damn good guitar player too.
Yeah, I do all right.
Yeah, he can cut his teeth with some tens.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Captain,
do.
how you doing, Joey? Thanks for letting me up.
Sir?
I asked him not to, but you know,
he
likes you more than I do, so he overruled me.
I try not to play online anymore because it just doesn't come across right. If you don't have the right setup, the right microphones and shit, it just doesn't come across right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a word from our advertiser, Jimmy C's workout place.
I've never had a workout regimen. Never, ever in my life, man.
Well,
Jimmy,
he's got to work out. He's got to lift that beard every time he lifts his head.
Captain, I hope I'm doing this in my garage forever because the sarcasm just makes me laugh so much. Inside jokes are my thing. I just laugh at them so much.
Happy to see Thrash.
I fucking love it, bro. It's so funny.
and the old one, the doobie.
So happy to see Thrasher.
Right, Thrash is a good guy. So tell us about yourself and what you're doing at the rescue this week, bro.
Obi-Wan.
I'll be doing the rescue on Sunday, just the regular stuff, but I'm pretty much just working on my wife's car right now, so trying to get it running again. That's about it. Yeah, going to the grandkids football game
on Centra.
Gonna be a granddad on Saturday.
Okay.
Congratulations. 3 flags behind you.
I got 4.
I only see 3.
1, 2, 3. I see 3. Where's the 4? Oh, there's 4.
4. Okay, there you go.
Jeez, bro. Please save America for the rest of it, player. Fuck.
America.
Save some America for the rest of it, man. He's gonna start eating apple pie, turn on Duke Ellington, cut on the Rockies game. He's like, I'm so American. And I'm fucking watching the baseball game, eating some apple pie, and listening to jazz, motherfucker.
What's his name?
Apple pie, baseball.
What's
you serve long enough, you know, you're serving something. You know, it's
gonna go
all here, man.
I got your back, Captain. Just tell him, go Ireland.
What's the guy that's always on?
No, he's gonna kick your ass. How you doing, Dorito? You doing good?
The flag.
Hanging in there.
Not Ireland.
I know, bro. It's a Union Jack, isn't it?
Yep. Well, he'll explain it to you.
They called Dorito Union Jack back when he was.
I called it the Union Jack.
Because he liked British.
That was in my college.
He was in the Union. He started jacking off at work. That's why I called him.
It's a wee bit of pedantry, but it's a Union flag. It only becomes a Jack.
You know, Shar sent me a fucking British flag like 3 months ago. I still got it in a fucking thing over there. I've never opened it.
British Bulldog, man.
I would love to get him out, but he's dead, so it's not happening.
You need to put it up over your Browns jerseys.
Hey, can we get Jim Duggan?
I tried emailing Jim Duggan. I had no response from his people.
He did?
I don't want to talk to him.
I am working on one wrestler. He said he would do the show, but I haven't. It's been like 4 weeks since he said he would do it. So I'm still
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man. That would be pretty fucking cool.
Oh, did I tell you? Hey, I didn't tell. I told a couple of people this. I don't think I said this on the air yet. Maybe I said it last week. Not everybody remembers. I know you weren't here, but I emailed Kurt Angle's people. And God bless the guy. This is what he does. But he quoted me for a 45-minute interview. He quoted me $2,000. I was like, no. Right, like at the most, I'm making $30 back in super chats. I'm not trying to lose negative $1,900 on a fucking interview.
Yeah, you make maybe $100 on the fucking interview.
Right. I mean, I guess if people pay it, but I mean, fuck alive, you got to know your market, man.
Who is actually paying Kurt Angle $2,000 for a fucking interview?
I hear Squirrel doesn't pay
bro.
now.
Oh my god!
We did. It was crosstalk. So you can do
Doing a paying gig now. Right, Squirrel?
Hey, Mike, don't talk for the next 2 seconds. Dorito, say what you're saying again.
I said Squirrel's doing a paying gig now.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that, Dorito.
What was that?
Stand by, guys. A lot of people don't know this, but our friend, Hey Look Squirrel, Mr. Albin from the Massachusetts area, was approved for Cameo.
Yes.
So, being the entrepreneurial sharing spirit I am, I feel that we should watch his Cameo intro video live right now. So stand by.
Well, we're not watching it live. We're watching it on a live stream. It's not live. He actually did it.
Okay, Memorex.
Oh, man, I thought it was live. But you can't do that anyways, right?
YouTube channel. What's going on, folks? It's your boy, the Squirrel, from the Hey Look Squirrel YouTube channel on the other side of Squirrel, my music reaction channel. I'm here to let you know I've showed up on Cameo. Finally, here I am. I'm here for hire. If you know me and you know my past, you know that I'm pretty well known for making custom fuck you videos for people. Well, now it's time to start doing it over here on Cameo for anybody that wants to do it, not just for my friends. I'm here for birthday wishes. I can send an apology for you. I can send a congratulations. We can do gender reveals. I'll do whatever the hell you want me to do. Throw me a couple clams. I'll say whatever the fuck you want. See you soon.
So, if you're listening,
how much did he charge?
You heard the end of it. You heard the end of it. Throw me a couple clams. So, if you're listening, Chinese Communist Party, buy the Squirrel Cameo, and he'll support you. So, there you go. If you want a Squirrel Cameo, there's the look. Shouts out to Squirrel for not giving me permission to use yet, but he needs to get promoted somehow. He does. And honestly, hey, I'm being real. Real recognizes real. For what Squirrel charges for a Cameo, for what you'll get out of it, trust me, I tell you, it'll be well worth fucking what he's charging you.
Yeah.
I think it's like 13, 14 bucks. That's a good deal.
I talked to him live a couple years ago and shit, man.
So he's doing gender reveal, so I can get him to do a gender reveal for Blake, maybe?
Yes, dude, we should pull together our money and hire him to do a gender reveal for Blake and just make it like some gender that doesn't exist, like Dragon Self or some shit. You know what I mean? Oh, that'd be great.
He might even give you a 2 for coupon on that one.
Right? He'd probably give you 5% off, bro.
5% off what?
If we get a Groupon, man, can you tell me happy birthday?
I ain't getting no Groupon around here, man. You keep your Groupon to yourself.
A maxi Groupon?
Yep.
Or a mini Groupon.
Cheers to the chat, man.
I'm proud of Squirrel for doing that because I've always wanted to be on Cameo, so that's kind of cool. Someday I'll have that similar thing and we'll fucking make our... basically, we want to make money saying fuck you.
Tell them to visit this one.
Shit.
I got some ideas.
About 5 minutes, man.
What are you doing in 5 minutes? You're taking it out?
Well,
no, he's rubbing one out.
I think I'm gonna go to the store and get it. I'll probably just get off if you don't mind. I'll probably
You're getting off?
Well, I'm gonna go.
Whackity whack. Don't talk back.
Hey, yakety yak.
Hey, everybody does it. Even women do it, bro.
Yeah, well, they don't know about it.
Everybody shits. Everybody whacks.
I could just mute, or I could just get off.
Hey, my shit smells like roses.
I'm gonna go to the store and get a 6-pack, but the store is like 1 block away.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
bro.
Kyle.
If you want, I can just drop you down, turn your camera off. It don't matter. It's fine.
All right. Here, I'll just stop Cam if you want.
We're talking shit about you when you go, just to let you know, okay? So
All
if you're comfortable with that, that's fine.
I'll be right back.
All right, enjoy your Bush Light run there, bro.
Hello, Kathy.
Uh-oh, Thrash is drunk. When Thrash does one of three things, he's starting to drink. If he uses the microphone to talk in a different voice, he's drunk. If he says these nuts and that weird accent, he's drunk. Or if he gets the guitar out, he's drunk. Not drunk. He's drunk. Those three things. You know it's true, bro. You know it's true.
We know when Joey's high because he's high all the time.
Well, it's a day ending in Y and a time with numbers on the clock, and so you know I'm high.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever you want to say shit about Mike, go ahead. If you want to call him cross-eyed, two-faced, that's fine.
I'm reading the cameo thing there. So you create it and he'll send it. So if I create it, he'll send it to me, and then I can use it constantly and
as much as you want. Yeah, the video becomes yours, and you just do whatever the fuck you want with it.
I'm gonna think about that. So I think that'll be funny.
It's fucking great. It's I want to get on Cameo eventually. I mean, it's just a matter of being famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about famous.
I thought you were famous. And then
nobody
Infamous isn't the same.
Right. I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity, I guess, at the end of the day. But
exactly.
I mean, at the 2023, there actually is bad publicity things. I mean, if you get caught with a certain group, yeah, you're just done, bro. Are you two going at it? We are not touching tips at this moment. I mean, if you want a super chat like $500, I could drive over there and we could dance together.
No sword fighting.
Right. We're not doing. We're not having a tip touching good time, as they say.
No.
I don't think anybody says that.
No tips.
Great. All right. Here's Robert's advice on how. Hey, listen, guys. Here's Robert's advice on how to wake up.
I smack my head on the wall to wake up. I do that so I can wake up.
We were talking about the.
That's Roberto.
So thank you for Robert for. I mean, it's like this, guys. It's like this, man. If you appear on a public YouTube stream, anything you say can be used against you. And we gotta be real too. There's some nuggets out there. Nobody takes down these streams.
More like Cannon.
I've been looking. Jimmy's only got my passed out fucking clips. Where I passed out at the mic, you know.
All right, it says worst gender reveal ever was the lights turned on. Oh, nice. I like what I hate about the gender reveals. I hate when they're doing it like in the national park and it starts a forest fire and shit like that. Like they need to stop that shit. What?
I did see a clip the other day where the guys doing the gender reveal of the balloon and there was there were a white couple and the white family there, but there was a black dude behind, and it just was when the gender reveal goes wrong and the pop and all the black smoke comes out, you know. So the black guy's good.
All right.
Tips and nips, Jules. Hey, Jules, are you coming to the Tips and Nips festival? You gotta have nipples or dicks. Tips and nips.
I'm guessing the forest fire from the gender reveal was somebody that lit a helium balloon to pop it to see what color was inside of it. Is that what happened, or are you just?
It was a couple years back. I really don't remember. I'm sure if you just.
I was just to say, or are you talking out the side of your neck? I didn't know what.
No, it happened. It was like a forest Department of Forestry employee or some shit.
Oh wow, yeah, that's dumbass.
Well, I mean, when you don't tell people no, and they just do whatever, they push the envelope, and
shit, you should see Luch up in the mountains, dude. Even anywhere, like if there's a flame involved, you better not fuck around. He's like worse than Smokey the Bear, dude. He is, man. He is bad, dude.
He goes over and pees on those
fires.
Oh, and pee on you too. That's the thing, dude. He's like really. Like he takes that shit to offense, but he lives in the mountains. He does live in the mountains in a cabin. You know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, he is definitely.
So we got Blake back in the house. I guess he's back.
It's Schmitty.
We're probably gonna go till 8, if that's okay with everybody.
What's that in real time?
It's time to get
1 your time, 1 a.m. your time.
22 minutes from now.
Yeah.
I'll go play a couple games with my son of some Fortnite. He deserves it. It was a little
Fortnite's a rough game to play, dude. I don't like Fortnite. It's not fun.
Oh, he likes Fortnite.
You know, but you control what he could like. I mean, you provide access to the server and access to the game. Tell him to like Space Invaders, and you can play that with him. You know what I mean?
No, dude. He likes
Space Invaders is a fun fucking game, Dorito, and you know that, bro. You know that's a fun game.
Yep. Excitebite was great.
Excitebite's still fun as fuck. I fuck with some Excitebite. The bike overheats, it goes to the side.
If I would try to get him into another game, it would be World of Tanks, and that's because they got the Iron Maiden stuff going on right now.
And then there was another one that was.
No, there's actually a video game too where you can fight the different.
Spy Hunter was brilliant.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, they got another video game. I think it's on the phone though. You get it on the phone where you can fight different ages of Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Right.
I sent that to you, Captain. Did you see it?
I saw the tank one. Yeah, the
World of Tanks. Yeah, I got to download that when I have the time. But every time I turn on the Xbox, my son's like, "You want to play some Fortnite?" And tonight I was a little hard on him. So
I sold my Xbox yesterday. Haven't been using it, so yeah. I sold my old PC. I sold on Monday, and I went up and spent the money on whiskey instead. So,
well, I mean, you got to liquidate your assets, you know. And when I die, hopefully I got like no collectibles. Like, I don't have to have my kids go through a bunch of fucking old ass shit from the 80s. You know what I mean, just whatever. I'll sell it before I die. Ideally, I mean, you never know when you're gonna die, obviously. But by the time I'm 70, for example, it's gonna be a lot more bare bones.
Dude, my son's gonna have cool ass skateboards, dude. He's gonna have tech decks. He's gonna have
the biggest dumpster they rent to throw all this crap away because he doesn't like it.
Not even, dude.
I'm just fucking with you, buddy. Relax. I don't want to like. I am me tomorrow. Like, oh, it really put me in a bad place. I'm just 100% kidding, bud.
Want to see my DVD collection? Since you're kidding?
No, I don't. Please don't show me your collectible. I love you, buddy, but please don't show me your collectible.
What's the nut rub?
No more nut rub.
Yeah.
It's been enough. It's been enough.
I got Captain good today.
Is he walking funny?
But possibly. I mean, I think he was walking funny from his comment.
I just like I like fucking with Daniel, you know. So when he's on, I always try and put something sarky in his comments. So
yeah, he said something about his third nut is sagging and stuff, and I said, "Well, it wouldn't be doing that if you had some nut rub, Captain."
What it said was, "Why is my left testicle much itchier than the other two?"
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, something about his nuts. I wasn't paying direct attention there, Captain.
I wasn't really watching. I just like if somebody's on that I know and I try and at least put a comment in, just turn up and you know, even if I'm not really watching, just which is what I do sometimes. So,
well,
as long as you're not on in the middle of the night, you know.
All right, now, are you, Captain, when you die, are you going to do you want to be cremated or in a coffin or frozen? What do you want to have done with your corpse?
Frozen.
I want them to put me on a body farm.
In a body? Wait, say that again?
There's things called body farms. The FBI and I'll use them. So, because what they'll do is they'll take my body and they'll put me, say, outside, and they'll work out how does a fat bloke decompose when he's half covered in leaves.
Okay.
You know,
so it becomes organic.
Right, they're gonna test out the new Rugers in your fucking buttocks.
I've seen that.
No, it is literally it's forensic science at its best. The little work so if they'll put me in certain conditions and it'll work out right. So if somebody of that body type dies in these conditions, we know how he died and you know what's natural and what isn't. So it's and then you just rot away because I don't believe, you know, there's no God and all that nonsense.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, and I love everybody, I love and respect everybody's beliefs, it is what it is. But if we're being honest, there's probably no heaven. We got to be real. So yeah, you got to enjoy the tough one. But I want to go. I got big plans for this, bro. I want to. Now this is all contingent on me not crying when I'm doing it because it's hard to do afterlife shit and not just like tear up. And I can't sit there and be like, if you're seeing this now, I'm dead. And then I start fucking bawling. That doesn't make a good video. But like on my monument, I don't want just gravesite, I want a monument. But I want to have like a holograph thing come up. They can just press a button and like me from 2023 just comes out and talks about my life story, etc. You know what I mean? But I want my body to be frozen, but I don't want the way they do it now. Because if they do it now, they cut your head off and freeze. I want my whole body frozen. So if they can reanimate me at a future date.
I'm going to use my penis to grow tree.
I will do, because it's going to be like 70% this elaborate fucking monument, and like 30% is going to go to them. But I mean, I didn't work my whole life to not have a hologram me talk about me in the afterlife. So we'll have, and I'm going to have to hire a caretaker. It's going to be a lot of back end.
Reality is all the way around. No matter what, your
Crazy,
body,
man.
even though your spirit leaves your body, doesn't believe it. There's no such thing as a spirit. Whatever.
I said more than likely.
That body,
I didn't say definitely. I said more
put
than
in
likely.
the ground or frozen is what everybody's talking about. It are tested for murders, one or the other.
Right.
Or death. I'm sorry.
There you go, Shannon.
Well, technically,
Carla, you walk into a wall.
If you carted in and put in one
no
direction or
death.
another. There'd be no walking involved in this conversation. It'd be more like carted in.
Yeah, there is no death.
Right. What if we're not? Speaking of death, ladies and gentlemen, live from Death, Arkansas. It's Blake TV.
Speaking of death,
What's up, boys?
Can you imagine?
what's up, Mr. Blake?
Oh, Mr. Blake, how are you today? Come take a seat at our virtual table and discuss items of the day with us, sir. All you can eat.
You got the hair erected today.
Be so sorry.
Almost
Down in the basement so long, Mr. Blake.
Point fire. I am 4 years shy of that, bro.
Is that a samurai?
I'm 4 years shy of that, bro.
On the 27th, I'll be 2 years shy of 60.
Yeah. Well, no, he was saying I'm a half a century older than my youngest. Sanctioned kids are outstanding. My son is actually I'm 52, so going to be 53, and he's 6. So
I'm 61.
I'm 2 years away from 40.
Behind you. Right behind you.
Blake's the baby. Blake or Mike. Mike might be about the same age, and then Dean, you're the oldest.
I feel it most of the time, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah, Mike said he was in his 40s earlier, so
Damn, baby Blake down there, bro. Do you feel young?
Dude, I'm feeling
you don't look the
Tell us
youngest.
about how you want to be. Tell us in detail who you want to be most like when you're 61.
Joey Edibles.
That's right.
Look at Blake's lats. He's been working out.
Yeah, pose for the ladies, bro. Look at that. He looks like an Irish Lex Luger. I like it.
Is there any ladies in there?
Like
Carla.
like
With or without the
Kojak, one of the Dudley
Kathy
boys.
just
Fuck.
got the hots.
Cheers.
Speaking of the hots, welcome to the party, Jules from Undisclosed Bunker.
Jules, I know her.
Jules, what's up, sugar?
Hello.
Hey, Jules.
Wait. Which way?
Hi, dear darling.
Hi, Jules.
Welcome to Pillow Talk with Jules.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the new sodas, Jules. How do they feel on your back? How do the pillows make you feel? You thought Pillow Talk was going to be about doing it. Nope, it's about actual pillows.
It's still better than talk sex with Sucho.
Not my
Which
pillows.
pillows are you referring to?
I used to have this feller pillow, man, that if you wanted to have a fight, it would knock the other person over. Man. That was killer pillow, man.
When Joey grabs titties, he leaves marks.
Oh yeah, point fire. Thanks, bro.
Sorry, my internet.
I'm a little upset. Was a little upset with him earlier. He was being a little acting a little spoiled, and he had to get checked, and it sucked having to check him.
Yep, that's being a dad. Yep.
Check.
Then it's almost like
Body check.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I have footage.
It
from
happens.
Hold on.
And that's when you teach them
Hold on, though. This
what
is the
grateful is.
Hold on. This is the worst part. He ran to Grandma crying.
That's all.
And Grandma said, "Why are you?"
Use a sense to humor.
He
Great book, Jane
Yeah.
Bears.
That's when you tell grandma to go to her room.
The Cubs get a bad case of Gimme. It's a great book. Yes. Read that to my children.
Bumpy
They
Road
know that
Brewery.
story well. Yeah. In other
Just
words,
say
give me
he's a little-
this, give
she's a
me
little
that. Yeah.
I'm not going to get a quesadilla if I ask.
Yeah,
for it.
I'm lagging. I know that. It's just fucking stupid.
It's a no
I'm
quesadilla.
on a tablet. You know?
Jules is representing the 80s with her style and the 90s with her internet technology. Welcome to the party, Jules.
Did you guys hear me? It's a no quesadilla zone right now.
No quesadilla zone. Yeah, grandma ain't cooking tonight for you.
So one time when I was 6 years old,
Put your headphones on.
Don't say that word.
So one time when I was 6 years old, I told my mother I didn't have to do anything she said, right? Mama had just got a brand new screen door that day. So I take off towards the screen door and she comes at me, right? Well, I didn't know the damn thing was locked, so I ran through the screen door. It was not a good day for the company. And she just sat there and waited till my stupid ass came back because I had to come home. And then the beating commenced, shall we say.
This is the funny thing. It wasn't a big thing. I bought him. He wanted one of the little character juices, you know, the juices that have the characters on the top. We went to the bank and went to the store. He wanted one, and I got him one. So we're going home, and we're talking about something. We was going to go to the sound show tomorrow. And
Right.
he said, is there going to be any Transformers there? And I'm like, no. We're going to go see some buggies and carts and all that stuff. He goes, well, if there's not going to be any Transformers there, I don't want to go. I says, okay, we won't go. So he kept going on and on about it. If they don't have Transformers there, I don't want to go. Mama's not going to go. I don't want to go. I said, dude, we're not going to go. So he's like, well, I don't want to go. And he just kept going and going. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, you need to stop. So we're still going down the road, turns around. You know, I don't want to go, right? I'm like, okay, enough's enough. You keep doing this. You got that juice because you're being cool and you're a good kid.
Right.
But, you know, you keep up this little, you keep going.
You're not going to have
what's
this
the reason for this juice? And he goes, he looks at me and he goes, I'll drink it before you do.
Ooh.
And I looked at him and I said, you will you? And he said, yep. He looks right at me and he goes, yep. And I went and grabbed the juice. As soon as I grabbed the juice, he went, wow, and started crying, dude. And I'm like, you're going to cry? Okay, man. I put it back in the bag. I said, you know, I would take your juice, but if you want to cry, you go ahead and cry. So we get home and he says, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to go in my room. I says, okay, you go in your room. And he went to go into his room. He says, I'm mad at you. You hurt my feelings. Run straight to grandma. And then that goes that way.
Now, Doritos in the doghouse.
Then he runs into his room and he's yelling at me, telling me, he's yelling at me, telling me, I'm not going to go to the store with you. I don't want any more juice. I said, okay, fine. Close the door. He was pissed, dude. And I couldn't, like, this is the first one that he's acted like that, but I'm not going to have that. You know what I mean?
No, and you let him cry, especially like in a grocery store or something. Just fucking leave him in the aisle. Just let him go.
No. Yeah, no. It just takes to look for that. That don't happen. This was in the truck. Yeah, I know. He won't do that.
No, I'm talking about if it happens. Let him do
Walmart,
it.
yeah.
What you do is you start doing like entertainment for him. It's like, check this out.
Yeah.
Since I can't beat my kid, I'm gonna show him off. There we go.
Yeah. No, my daughter did that once, dude, and I cried just as loud as her in the store. I totally played it and embarrassed, made her laugh, and she never did it again. I'm not going to make them suffer, and I'm not going to.
Back in the day, this was before the PC crowd came out. I used to lift
son
them up by one arm and
not even that.
on their back of their thigh.
Yeah, not even that. I don't want to see my son cry in the public and everything.
Oh, I do. I want to embarrass the shit out of them so they grow
My
up.
son wanted a suit. He would not have been
But you can
able
do that
to
in his
lift
room.
it. Wow.
fucking hot down here in Texas.
You know
But
what?
anyways, everything's good to go.
You know
He
what?
apologized.
If you always behave, they know that. And they will use that to their advantage.
Oh,
It's
that's just
okay
it.
to stand your ground sometimes.
Oh, I
Teach
didn't
them
give.
those
Rita, I'm just saying
boundaries
that it was
and
I
those
didn't
general,
lessons they need
general
to learn.
outbursts. I do
Yeah.
that.
And there's
I
nothing
let
wrong
him.
with that.
He
Sometimes
didn't.
it
I didn't
hurts
give.
mom and dad a little more than it hurts the kiddo. They'll get over it.
Well, the
My
thing
son
is
remembered the Walmart lesson. We left
yeah,
there with nothing. I gave him choices, and he chose to pitch a fit. And I said, no, we will leave here with nothing, and I will take you home, and I will come back without you.
yeah.
And that is what I did. I calmly, as he was pitching a fit in the bathroom,
What the fuck did I miss?
put everything
Mike?
back where it was supposed to go. And that was
it's-
starting to freak him out a little bit. So we
Yeah,
walked out the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry, Mama, I'm sorry. I said, nope. Too late. I already told you what the conditions were.
Yeah, this was the first time and guaranteed the last time it'll ever happen with him.
You
We
might
don't
listen
usually
next
have
time.
our kids are pretty good for the most part. I think he was kind of testing to see how far he could go. And I was treating it more with humor than I was with anything, and then he pushed it beyond that.
Boundaries, dangerous. You'll regret that, trust me.
No, I let him. He went through his little tizzy, and he hung out by himself and cried. He got straightened up. Trust me.
They'll learn.
But I didn't need to go any further.
They'll learn.
Well, there you go.
My oldest is 18, and
there you have it.
And
I just said I was going to go play some Fortnite with him because
there
I
you
felt
go.
bad.
So then,
my
I don't
oldest
know.
is 18, and like she came home. And
Sorry, fat wife coming through. Sorry, excuse me, fat wife.
She came home. There wasn't a food in the house. I told her to go get a job.
Well, I'm going to go play some video games with him right
All right,
now.
homeboy. We'll see you. We'll see you.
Later.
Cheers, Rito.
Later, man.
We got live footage of Rito playing video games. Check it out.
So I figured out a way to kill two birds with one stone, like this. The key to that, Lois, is big rock, small birds.
I love that game.
That's great.
You got that game?
That's still the greatest one, brother.
Dude, I can't get enough. The two birds with one stone is so funny. That's just so goddamn funny. He just brings up these little baby ass birds. He's like, the key rock, and just the blood just going everywhere.
The only thing that comes close is bitch duck. You remember that one?
Big Chuck's okay. Big Chuck's okay. But that one in the mustache one where when he walks by, he goes, morning. And Stewie's like, how do you do, sir? Dude, that half second after he says, how do you do, sir? And then it's like, wait a minute. Dude, that is so fucking funny. God, that is great. Oh, my God, that is funny as fuck.
It is good. Listen.
My internet is so
Much love, Shannon. Much love, brother.
Blake, you look so sexy with a bald head, bro.
Thank you. Shit,
What about me, Mike?
Hey, how much would you charge to have one of us shave our balls, wax them all the way down, and put butter on them and rub them over your head?
I just want to roll your head down a bowling alley.
$50.
There's not enough shut up Blake t-shirts available.
Hey, I asked this one chick. She come over. She goes, how do you want your eggs? And she goes, fertilized. And then,
well, you know,
eggs in the morning. Fertilized is what she said.
Fertilized.
You know how to make a hormone, right? You know how to make a
don't pay
hormone.
her.
Don't pay her.
I think Captain would look good bald headed too.
The fact that you're calling her a chick.
Captain's a rocker. He's a long hair. Like me.
Bald Vikings for a reason,
If she
bro.
were a lady, you would not be calling her a chick.
I call myself a cunt.
Yo.
Wow.
You
know why? You know why, Jules? You know what the word cunt means? CUNT, can't understand normal thinking.
Hey, before we get out of here, I want to tell you guys a funny thing.
Yeah,
Go to
I know.
I heard that a long time ago.
Hey,
and it makes sense.
there's a town. There's a town in Mexico. Everybody
So
knows
a guy could be a cunt too.
And there's a big Cancun sign. It says
Yeah, I never call a woman that.
There's
though.
people who stand at the end of the Cancun sign and go like this and form a letter T, so it says cunt next to the Cancun sign. Go to Google. It's funny as fuck. I love it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to join us Monday the 25th. Larry Hankins is going to come back and join us live. And we're a couple other banger guests. I guess miscellaneous. I don't know who else is going to be live, but we'll see you on the YouTube, guys. Take it easy, baby.
Here's y'all.